it foggy outside. All the planes have been grounded. Ain't the fire inside? Let's all go stand around it. Funny, I've been there, and you've been here. We ain't had no time to drink that beer.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Sandman podcast. I am your host, Brian W. Tosh, joined as always by our resident hack checker, Oliver Fullington.
Yep.
Our producer and co-host, El Hilo del Hack, Tyler Fullington. And the man whose stories got stories, the hardcore icon. He's got 99 problems, but bananas ain't one. The Sandman. Hack, how the hell's it going today?
Still tingling from a big Eagles win.
Yeah, wow. What a nail biter that one turned out to be. But they got it done. That's
Me and Tyler sitting here. I was thinking, I'm not going to say it. I'm thinking we're losing that game.
Yeah.
And at their last drive, I'm thinking we're going to freaking lose this fucking game.
Yeah.
Soon as
5 minutes left, up by 13.
As soon as Puka had that catch, I was like, oh, man.
Yeah.
Like, on the sideline, you're like, damn. Like,
Wow, that was a white knuckle game. Taking that home, that was a
All
really.
right, white
Well,
knuckle.
should
Yeah.
have never been that close. We should have never been playing prevent defense that early.
No, that was a
We let
mistake.
them just walk down the
Yeah, that
field in
99 second
48
drive.
seconds and score.
Right? Yeah, it was a man. I don't know.
we score with 4 minutes left, and everybody's celebrating. I'm like, I know they hadn't scored that much up into that point, but I was like, yeah, but I wasn't like, this game's over. Like, 4 minutes is still a shitload of time left when we went up 2 scores, you know? And then Elliott, of course, misses the field goal to go up 14, or the extra point to go up 14, and you're like, oh, God, here we go. He couldn't just make it a 14-point game.
No.
Like, he couldn't just make it a 14-point game.
Hey, he made the 2
You're like,
kicks. All right, he missed 2 extras, but he made 2 serious
Yeah.
freaking kicks.
Yeah.
He did. The one was a 44-yarder, I think, and the other one was 30 some. But
Yeah, 35, something
still,
like
in
that.
those conditions that it was on Sunday,
Yeah.
I mean, those were impressive kicks.
He missed the first extra point that was clean.
Right.
Like, there was no snow on the ground, nothing.
Yeah.
And then he made the 2 kicks in the snow and then missed the extra point in the snow, which, yeah, you got to give him credit for making the 2 kicks in the 2 field goals in the snow, but the extra point, it's like, God, man, it can't ever be easy, huh?
No, and that I think out of all the things I was most worried about, I mean, Hurts coming off the concussion to start the playoffs, Elliott was the one where I was most concerned with because a lot of these games just ultimately come down to a field goal or an
the
extra
playoffs,
point.
yeah.
It really does come down to the kicking a lot, and I hope that he's got it out of his system. And I hope
No, it's not out of his system.
Well,
you're
It's
still
here
worried.
all year.
You're still worried about Elliott.
Yeah, he's got like the H5N1 bird flu problem. He ain't get rid of it.
but it's like you said, Tosh, so we miss the first extra point, and then they go up, 7-6, and then we score the touchdown again, and then happily we kicked the extra point. We didn't chase the points and go for 2. You go up 13-7.
I was so happy we kicked that.
Yeah,
Right,
You
and
go
that's-
up 13. It's still so early in the game. With a lot of coaches, would be like,
Sirianni's chased those points before early.
Yes, I was just going to say that's Nick learning from his mistakes. I think a little bit as a coach.
Earlier this year.
Yeah.
And I think the incoming snow may have played a part in that too. Like, hey, let me just get the extra point. This might come down to a field goal game. Go up 13-7. Go up 2 field goals. Who knows what will happen later on in the game? And I'm happy that he did that. But like you said, dude, it changes everything that happens in the game. Look at the Baltimore and the Bills game. That they went for 2 the first time, didn't get it, and then they ended up having to go for 2 again. It comes down to that point in the playoffs every single time. The field goal, the extra point, everything. And it changes how you play the game throughout the game.
Yeah.
Like your play calling, like if you're down 7 compared to 8 or 7 compared to 6, like if you're down 6 instead of 7, you might kick a field goal because the next field goal might tie it. As compared to if you're down 7, you might be like, if if I kick a field goal, I'm still down a touchdown.
Right.
So I got to score another touchdown anyway.
Yeah.
So it changes the whole dichotomy of the rest of the game. And listen, Jake Elliott has been so good. I've never been unconfident about him kicking until this year, clearly. But like when he was trying to kick that 61-yarder to tie it against Buffalo in the rain, I knew he was going to make it.
Yeah.
I literally didn't have I was like, he's going to make this. I didn't have a fucking issue. Now it's like, man. And listen, it's
Sweating extra points, Jesus.
Yeah, we are, but a lot of these games they come down to like one or two mistakes. It's whoever makes the fewest mistakes is going to win these football games, and the big one is turnovers too. So I mean, if our defense can get after it,
Turnovers is everything, dude.
It really is.
It's everything. Look at Baltimore.
it was the key in the divisional round. This whole playoffs, the
Literally,
people that
yeah.
turn the ball over have lost.
Yeah, so I mean, you got to control the ball, you got to maintain it. I think that's going to be I know the Commanders are going to try to get after Hurts on Sunday. You guys are going to be listening to this on Monday. I don't know if we're going to be happy or not. Going into the game, I know like the Commanders this year, they were my pick as like the team on the rise. I liked them a lot this year. They've certainly had a fantastic season for their expectations, but I really think the Birds are going to take care of business.
I was going to
on Sunday.
say, so Tosh, it's your pick versus the
it's
Eagles.
my Eagles, man. I'm going.
I'm sure also you
I know.
didn't foresee them being this good.
No, I didn't think they'd go for a run to the NFC title game, but
Kid's good, man.
he is. Jaden
Jeez.
Daniels is the real deal. Like I think.
We'll see. Everyone,
It's 1 year.
Everyone was saying Stroud had the best rookie season ever last year, and look at him now.
Yeah, him and Love. I mean, listen, Daniels is probably putting together the best rookie quarterbacks. Think about how many times he's had comeback. It's like 6 or 7, and minus this Detroit game or whatever, but 6 or 7 times in a row he's had these comeback victories in the fourth quarter or anything like that.
And doing it by himself.
Yeah, I mean, people.
Kyle Jones for like 50 yards in the fourth
He
quarter.
doesn't have a ton on offense. He does have Eckler. He does have McLaurin. He does have a couple
Diami
of
Brown
players.
has stepped up for them, but they lost their right guard, and that is Jalen Carter territory.
Carter's going to abuse Scott.
And I know he already gets double teamed. This might have to become a double team up front and a running back chip and a prayer, because the way dude. Those last 2 plays against the Rams, he faked a game. Like, he faked
center.
He faked the stunt twice in a row. The guard left, and he faked the center out twice. That dude's becoming a super smart player, and he's already an animal to boot. So,
And that freaking tapping that ball out.
That was
punching
awesome.
the ball. That's like a
He's-
D-back
That was
punch
so-
out that he,
yeah.
He's
like,
so good at that. He's done that a few times already. Like,
Yeah.
Dude's like just running by him. He just like pops his arm out there.
Yeah, he's an absolutely amazing player, and the way that he like takes over a game, it's like Aaron Donald level of
Too bad
play.
Jordan Davis wasn't like that.
Oh
Or
God,
isn't like
you're
that.
still upset about Jordan Davis.
yes, I am.
Let it go.
He's still
Like, when
upset
are you
about
gonna
Jordan
let it
Davis.
go?
I can't. The guy blows.
We have maybe the best D tackle in football, but
We're
he's
about
still
to
mad.
make the Super Bowl.
Jordan
Let it go.
Davis.
it's fine. It's like, guys,
He's a number 1. He's like first round pick, dude.
So
Yeah,
you got Carter.
He's
though,
playing
so-
behind Williams.
Listen, I understand. I understand that's probably going by the wayside. Him being a first round, not necessarily bust, but not a great player. He wasn't touted as like this huge like he was touted as a nice player. He wasn't touted as like Jalen Carter. Jalen Carter might have been the first overall pick in the draft if the
He
whole
didn't have the issues at Georgia that we all know
the
about.
car accident
Yes.
and everything of that aspect
That's
didn't
true. I
happen.
forgot about that.
But
He slipped to us. We
Right.
were lucky to get him when we did.
but it's funny because I was thinking about this earlier, like how we signed Bryce Huff, the edge rusher from the Jets, and we're getting absolutely
50 million.
nothing from him. But
Or 30 million.
it was like 3 years, 45 million, whatever it is, like 15, 16 a year. But then you signed a Zach Bond for $2 million a year. And would you sign Zach Bond and Bryce Huff again for $17 million a year? Yeah,
Huff.
no, but I'm saying them combined. Like,
Oh yeah, 19 million for the both of them.
Would
for
you-
what he's done? Okay,
would
yeah.
you rather have Huff be Hassan Reddick Or would you rather have Zach Bond doing what he's doing right now?
That's luck, and that's but
that's also part of it.
It
it's
is.
It's luck you're getting Bond, and you fucked up on a Bryce Huff pick.
We'll see what happens.
It's like you fucked
I
up. You
can't wait
fucked
to
up on
find
a
out.
You fucked up on a Jordan Davis pick, and kind of lucked up on a Jalen Carter falling to you at number 9. I'm just saying that's like
Jordan
that
Davis played decent last year until freaking he hit that wall when both of them hit the wall at the 10th week or whatever it was. You know what I mean? The guy's going backwards to me. He's not going forward. I think it's his heart. That's the problem.
Okay.
I think he's got a heart problem.
Okay.
Like he ain't got a heart.
Yeah, I hear what you're saying, Hack.
Tin Man.
But man, we're at the NFC Championship game.
Yep.
We're knocking on the door of another Super Bowl appearance. I'm jacked up. It's really awesome because this cold sucks, the snow sucks, but at least you can look forward to the birds. I am really hoping they pull it out on Sunday.
Tosh, your ultimate prediction? You
Eagles take care of business on
Eagles
Sunday.
take care of
Eagles
business.
take care of
Close
business.
game.
Score.
Give me a score.
Let's go 31-20 Eagles.
All right, Ollie.
34-17.
Wow. Okay.
Hack.
28-15.
Eagles.
Yeah.
And Ty, what do you got?
I will go 27-17 Eagles.
Okay. All right. So we're all right.
Well, 17's right on our number for defense.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're a good team, and Daniels is.
We're gonna have to spy that kid. I don't know who we can spy him with.
I don't think they are going to have enough for 4 quarters in Philadelphia to grind out enough to beat us.
No, I don't think.
We're going to wear them down.
Yeah, I think so too.
We scored 28 points last week in the snow, and we didn't do anything.
Right. No, we didn't. I mean,
We had 3 big plays.
the
Right.
Hurts run.
And
The Hurts run and
Saquon's
Saquon's
run.
2 runs.
Yeah, I
like,
mean, it's
and we
three big
really
plays,
didn't do
dude.
anything.
Yeah, they
and
really
Washington's defense is
Not
really
that
not
great.
that
I
good,
know.
so-
So when this comes out on Monday, you guys are either going to be saying, "Man, those guys are all geniuses. I hate them. The Eagles are awesome," or they're idiots and the Eagles lost.
or
So-
we're just homers,
Yeah.
and we're just. But no, I was more worried about the Rams game.
The
I
line's
honestly
6
was.
for a reason.
I agree, Hack. I
was
agree.
honestly more worried about the Rams game.
Yeah. How do you guys feel about the other game, Bills at Chiefs? What are you guys feeling in this one?
Man,
Because that's
their
a coin
last
flip to
5
me.
games. You know what they're averaging is total points together, like 64.
total game scored. Yeah,
Wow.
dude.
I
I,
don't
mean,
know.
that was it. The AFC Championship, or I don't know if it was the championship or the divisional round, where they were going back to back and forth in the fourth quarter, and the Bills went up with 13 seconds left, and then the Chiefs came down with 13 seconds, kicked the game-tying field goal, and then
Overtime, they won.
then overtime they won.
It was a couple years
I think
ago.
that was the best game I've ever seen.
It's one of the best football games ever, and it's the reason why they changed the overtime rule.
Yeah,
That game was
literally.
literally the reason they changed the overtime rule.
That game, and probably, this is going back a while, when Goff was still on the Rams, and they played the Chiefs.
Oh
the
yeah,
first
and they
game
were
of the
like
season.
it was like
Oh, that game
51,
was
48
great.
or
Yeah.
whatever it was.
like 50 points scored between both teams.
That was a great game. Yeah, I mean, I think it's a coin flip game. Kansas City's going for history. No team's ever won.
Kansas City, what did they do? They moved somebody in the left tackle that doesn't ever play left tackle.
Jeff Tooney
that's
is their left guard, and he moved out to left tackle because they had an injury, or it was an injury, or that left tackle was the most penalized dude in the league, like by far. So I
Yeah,
don't
he's
know.
always offsides.
I don't know if he sat or there was an injury. So Tooney is like an all-pro guard, but him moving out to tackle is a little bit different. He's still
Yeah,
good.
he need that footwork.
He's still trying to get his footwork and stuff like that. Bills are on fire right now. But I just,
KC.
dude, until you beat Kansas City,
KC.
I can't bet against Kansas
They're going to
City.
have to figure out something for Karlaftis, because that guy he blew up the
he's a
Texans.
dude.
He had
He's
like
a-
3 or 4 sacks last weekend. Like, I mean, that guy's a real good player, dude. He's a really
Yeah,
good
and he's
player.
only like 25, and I think he's like tied for the Chiefs all-time like sack leaders in the playoffs already. Like, I mean, granted they're there every year and whatever, but
It's
yeah,
wild.
It's
wild. I mean, you don't see football teams have continued success year after year after year like that, and the constants there are
Spagnola, Andy Reid, freaking their tight end,
Kelsey.
Hall of Famers all over the
you,
place.
Yeah.
you know,
Mahomes.
Andy's not going anywhere. Spagnola's not going anywhere. Spagnola had his head coaching
right.
thing.
He's like, I know.
He's like Fangio for us now. We know he's not leaving.
Fangio's not going for another head coach.
point.
Like all those other D coordinators, like will leave for other head coaches.
Detroit's losing too.
Spagnola's good. He's
Just like we had for 2 years in a row.
Spagnola's not going anywhere, and Mahomes ain't going anywhere.
Yeah,
So-
I'm hoping that more. I don't think we've heard much for him about the Cowboys job since. So I'm hoping we can retain him for another year and have some consistency among the coaching staff here, because I think it really does matter having the same personnel year
I
after
agree.
year.
Well, to
Think
me,
about how many years Andy and Patrick have gotten to be together, and how good Andy is and Patrick is. It's no
And how many
wonder why they have the success that they have.
Right.
And he's one of the best coaches, if not the best coach ever. And Mahomes is either one or two, in my
300
opinion.
victory last week.
In my opinion, as far as quarterback goes, and they've been in every single situation that you could possibly ever be in.
Right, they're never sweating anything.
So, like, they've done it before. So, it's crazy, and like you said, Tosh, I do hope Morris sticks around for another year, because you almost thought that his time kind of passed, but he's still young enough to where, like, you know it is, and obviously with the Eagles' success, but I do wish that we would have some sort of continuity with the coaches, and now we seem that we've had that with Fangio, because he's not going anywhere, obviously.
Yeah, the
I
latest.
don't know who would want our offensive coordinator. Barkley's got 2,000 yards. What's the guy really doing? And our offense hasn't looked great in the playoffs either.
No, it
Our
hasn't.
guys are covered constantly everywhere on the field, dude.
But I think
hasn't, but
I think it's a strategy of the team too. Is just focusing on what we do best, and that's run the ball. I mean, we really.
And
we
when
kill
Kellen
it.
Moore was the offensive coordinator for Dallas, Dak had like his best years under them. So
That's true.
So that like they could look at that and like Kellen could be like, "Hey, listen, I'm working with what I got. Like this is the way we focused on playing offense this year with the Eagles. You know what I'm saying? Like this is how we're winning, and I'm not going to change and try and do anything different that jeopardizes that. So like, and listen, if you're the Jacksonville Jaguars, are you going to look like? Are you going to try and get a head coach and be like, oh, well, Kellen Moore only handed it off to Saquon? Like, like they have some sort of credibility.
The one I was most worried about was the Cowboys job for Moore, and in the latest I heard is it looks like they're leaning towards Brian Schottenheimer in-house to bring him on.
Please, light that. Go ahead, Jerry. Keep doing what you do, buddy. Light that shit on fire.
Well, it don't matter anyway. What else in Washington in this division?
That's true, Hack. That is true. So,
You know what I mean? They're done.
I kind of think they are too. I think that window is closed for
And
the
the
team.
thing is there like that? You know how if you really need to make a splash, like what's the biggest name now as a coach they can hire to make a splash?
I thought
I mean, to me, there isn't one.
Brian Johnson was probably that guy.
The guy from From Minnesota?
Detroit, and he went to the
Yeah.
Bears. I think he was that
That's
guy. I think he was like the belle of the ball of the coaching hires this offseason, and I don't know. I mean, I think he's really good, but I don't know if he's like any of these guys. I don't know if they're actually going to be successful, right? It's tough to pick a coach. You see these guys get maybe just 2-3 years.
But
a lot
the
of
thing
them.
is Jerry's not going to want to be upstaged by anybody, so he's always going to be safe. Like McCarthy was probably one of the bigger name head coaches
definitely.
he's named in a while. Like, and it's not like McCarthy's got like bravado or he's out there,
No.
but he had won a Super Bowl previously. Like he was probably one of the biggest names that they had out there that they had hired recently.
And the Commanders coach was there, wasn't he?
Yeah,
He was their defensive coordinator.
Yeah,
And
I mean, he's had a lot
good
of
call, Ollie.
He's had a lot of. I mean, look. The Falcons were up in that Super Bowl at halftime.
21
that
points.
was on
could-
Kyle Shanahan.
I know, but
Totally throwing the ball.
I mean, he could have had a Super Bowl ring right now. I mean, like they
Yeah,
very
he
well
could,
could have
yeah.
won that game. I mean,
Yep.
they were in the drivers of all drivers' seats.
They were on the 21-yard line, up 21 points, dude.
Right.
And they just threw the ball 3 times in a row.
Well,
Right, it
and
was-
they
it was
stopped
so-
going to Julio Jones, which is beyond me. Which in that game might have been the greatest catch. Well, both of them. Julio's catch on the sideline and then Edelman's
Edelman
catch
made the
later
great
is probably
one.
the two
Yep.
best catches I've ever
So if
seen.
we're in man this week, who's Slay grabbing?
He's staying on whatever side he is.
We
don't switch sides.
Yeah, we don't switch sides.
Slay's on the left. Well, if you're looking at the offense, Slay's on the left, Q's on the right, and McLaurin usually always goes to Q's side, so Diami Brown's going to be on Slay, but it's our third time. They might mix and match it, whatever they're going to do. It's not going to matter. We run prominently zone,
Yeah, I know that umbrella zone.
But dude, we got the number one defense in the league, man.
works.
So whatever they're doing, the communication on the back end, whatever they're doing is working.
And Burks played a hell of a game too. I
Yeah,
thought.
he did. Yeah, he did.
He had that one block that was definitely fucking an important block in that pass.
Yes, you're right, Hack. I just hope the O-line pass protects Hurts well because I know the Commanders are going to try to hurt him. I know they're going to go after him.
And we didn't play against Jonathan Allen either time, and he's back now and playing on their D-line. So that presents a different challenge.
Right.
And he's a good player. He's a good player. He's not like a Jalen Carter or whatever, but he's a really good player.
Yeah.
So we'll see. Excuse me. Burping.
We'll see, man. I know everybody out there, a lot of you are probably rooting against us, but look, we love the Birds.
We like it that way.
Yeah, we like
Why?
it that way.
Who wants to root for Washington?
Yeah.
Washington hasn't done anything in 100 years.
Maybe-
Do they
Dude,
even have
I
a
think,
band?
I think the
upstart-
sentimental people out there are rooting for the Bills. I think Bills are going to be the team everybody's rooting for.
Dude, could you imagine Bills fans and Eagles fans down in New
They were
Orleans?
saying that on the radio today.
Like,
You
dude,
was.
honestly, if I'm down there in the Bills fan, like, we'd be dapping up. Like, I
Yeah.
respect the shit out of Bills fans. You see
Same.
what they did, and they were like donating money to Mark
Yes,
Andrews,
to Mark Andrews charity.
after all that stuff, and they did a similar thing to. It was somebody else's charity. They did a similar. Dude, Bills fans are awesome, and they're just like us.
Yeah,
like,
I went-
they just want to fucking party. Like, dude, there will be. If you're a table down in New Orleans, if that fucking Super Bowl
out.
happens, look to go hide
Yeah,
somewhere because no table is safe if it's Eagles Bills down in New Orleans. Like, seriously, that'll be a great time, and we'll see what happens.
Yeah, me and my buddies, we went up to a Bills-Eagles game probably about 12 years ago now, and we had a great time. I mean, those fans out there, we tailgated and everything. Those fans up there are awesome. Like,
Yeah.
they're really cool. And like,
Cool
we're,
shit.
we're like one of the same of them, you know?
Yeah.
We're just diehards.
He's a big
and-
dumb animal, folks.
Yeah.
How about it?
Yeah, so guys, definitely excited for the football this weekend, and we'll see what happens. Hopefully, we'll be celebrating that Eagles Super Bowl appearance again. This week on the show, we reviewed ECW Guilty as Charged, 1999. Hack, you weren't in the company at this point.
Thank God.
Yeah, thank God. The Dudleys did shout you out a little bit on their promo. They said they broke
I
your
was
neck and
shocked
stuff.
about that.
Yeah, like even though you were working for the competition, I got to ask you, Hack, did you keep up?
Joey said it too.
Yeah.
Joe, the Dudleys take credit for getting. What's his name said we got rid of the Sandman or whatever, and then Joey gives Justin credible for running me out of town.
Yeah, you got twice on the show. You got name dropped. So even though
No,
you're
I
not
didn't-
there,
I didn't hear the
he did
Joey
mention
one.
it during the Justin thing too.
Yeah.
During his match with Tommy. But did you keep up with ECW at all while you weren't in the company at this point in time for the?
Yeah.
So you you were
Yeah.
okay. So you were
Yeah, not like I remember what was going on, but yeah, they were my boys.
okay. So you're still talking to the boys and
Well,
still
yeah, of course.
Okay, and there was no like.
I was watching. You got to remember my first. I had been signed since fucking September. This is January 10th. I haven't worked yet for WCW.
Right, you haven't done your first
Right,
match,
that didn't start till March.
which is
So I was sitting home watching shit.
so you're watching a lot of ECW at this point.
Right.
You're probably actually watching more of it than you were when you were even there, maybe.
Shit.
Oh, definitely.
Shit.
Definitely.
Shit. I wouldn't have done that. Fucking stupid.
So you're out of the guys in the company at this point that you're like still in touch with, it's got to be like Fonzie, right? Like you're talking to
all
Fonzie
the
stuff.
time, yeah.
Okay. So it's just like your boys that you're still talking to. And-
Yeah, but you got to understand, it wasn't like there was fucking.
Computer in your pocket.
Yeah. Well, like text and all that bullshit wasn't out yet. You know what I mean? But we talk all the time. Me and Fonzie, man, we spent 5 years every day together for 5 years practically.
Okay. And at this point, are you living in Florida at this point in
I
99?
think I got a house in. I think we got a house in Florida and Philly.
Because this show.
Yeah, we used to just wake up and I'm like,
99.
we're going to Florida today.
Dude, I don't
Get in the van.
I don't even
can't
remember because dude,
Went
well,
to the
I
house
was-
in Salt Lake City too.
I was 9. I don't know what grade are you in when you're 9.
Like third grade?
Yeah.
Fourth
Third grade. We were back here.
Okay.
we had a house in Florida,
But we
until
had a
like
house
2 or
in Florida,
3
but
or 4.
we weren't in Utah. Well, I remember you were saying we were in Utah when you got hired, when you when you met DDP in the airport. So we were in Utah then, so we must have just came back to PA at that point.
Because I had
switched
been
from
out to Utah, went back. Dude, we literally moved 6 summers in a row.
Florida, or PA to Florida, back to PA to Florida, Florida to Utah, Utah to PA. I'm pretty sure it was.
Literally.
But it was all in the matter of 5-6 years. But like I'm a kid, like so it's like
and it was a step up. Every step was a fucking money step.
Yeah.
This show was what town was this, Ollie? The show, it was right outside
Kissimmee,
Florida.
Kissimmee, Florida.
My sixth hometown or whatever.
One of your many
Yeah, one of
hometowns?
my many hometowns when I was at Bubba and Devon's school.
I liked this venue too. I thought the venue was really cool, and I love
Yeah, great, perfect ECW.
perfect ECW venue. I thought the crowd was really awesome in the show.
Oh, the crowd
overall.
was. Did you see the security guards like pushing? kids?
They were like
That one security guard was no joke. He was a newer one, the one that was pushing everybody
The
around.
younger dude with
Yeah.
the short hair, yeah, he was
He was
was
like,
not
get the hell
having it.
away. He pushed like 10 people away. It'll be like a sea of people
Yeah, he
moving back.
looked
and
like
forth.
Jalen Carter, just like throwing people around. Did you see this to open the show? Did you see the smoke show right behind Joey?
Oh yeah,
And then we didn't see her again.
No,
after that.
she
I don't
walked
even-
by once during a match. That was it.
Oh. I didn't
I
notice
forget
it.
what it was, but I remember walking by.
I
The
No, I was
I
like,
didn't
all
notice
right,
her at the
hard
beginning.
camera smoke show the
Yeah,
whole time,
great
and then they
idea.
didn't see her again. I was like, somebody pulled her in the back.
I got to ask, Hack, shows with ramps. When you worked a show with a ramp,
I love it.
I love the visual of a show with a ramp. It's something WCW did. A lot of Japanese companies have done ramps. ECW did ramps a bunch. AW's done them sometimes. Did you like working with a ramp?
didn't care.
No difference.
Well, he
for the
came out through
performer.
the crowd.
Okay, but I don't know if because I'm looking at it as
Maybe
like,
for a couple spots, like ramp spots or whatever. You know what I mean? But, whatever.
not really.
No, but I love the visual of like the ramp coming like straight to the
Yeah.
ring. That's just
It's just good. It's a different aesthetic. I
And
like
it's weird.
it.
It caught me off guard because at first I'm like, wait, I thought that was a ramp, but I didn't realize like the people right next to the entrance were on like bleachers. They were like ground level, and I was like, wait a second, I thought this was a ramp, but then I didn't realize it was bleachers at first, and then the other people were down there.
Yeah.
It's just an observation.
Hack, even though you didn't work this show, Florida was always one of the towns. It was one of the first areas where ECW had television in. ECW was working a lot
Dude,
in the early
besides, like,
days.
if we were, I think the
Sunshine
first state
Network.
besides like a Delaware, a Pennsylvania, Jersey, or New York was Florida.
Right.
And we would go to Davie. We worked at the Davie Arena.
Okay. And Florida had a lot of ECW events. It's
Yeah,
not, it's,
dude,
it's
tons.
not it's not really known as like an ECW area, but they have a lot of ECW history of Florida.
It's in Tampa where the ring goes down. Remember, all the people are jumping in the ring and the ring
Yes.
goes over. That's in Tampa.
Right, and that was early. That was like 95,
Early,
94,
yeah.
95. And like Florida, working Florida in ECW, what were Florida crowds like for ECW overall?
Same as here.
Just really
Yeah,
energetic.
dude, they were raucous.
And do you think it was because of the Sunshine Network? You guys were on the Sunshine Network, had some good.
The whole state
Yeah.
got us.
Yeah, like that's.
Yeah, we worked the whole state. We didn't do Jacksonville. We might have done Jacksonville
You
once.
did a lot of Lauderdale, right?
Oh,
Yeah, the Armory in Lauderdale,
Yeah.
Davie Arena, and then we did and Tampa and Kiss Me.
Yeah.
Is that why we moved to Tampa?
No, we moved to Tampa because of Fonzie.
There you go. Uncle,
all right.
Uncle Fonzie.
Well, and we lived in Clearwater on the ocean. We didn't even live in Tampa, dude. I had to
No,
pay,
we lived in-
I had
we
to
lived-
pay out this window and the ocean out that window. We lived on like a 100-yard wide strip.
Well, no,
of
we
land.
lived in St. Petersburg. Remember?
No,
We had the apartment in St. Petersburg.
never had an apartment in St. Petersburg.
Okay, well, yes, we did.
We're gonna have to hack check you.
No,
Go
we
through
didn't.
some tax
The only
returns.
place we had on the ocean was Clearwater.
No, the apartment wasn't on the ocean. It was an
Oh,
apartment
no,
in
the
St.
apartment
Petersburg.
when we had the pool outside. Me, you, and Kelly would go to the pool in the middle of the complex.
That was the condo in Clearwater.
No,
you
we
don't-
lived by the trade tracks up by the stadium.
In St. Petersburg.
That wasn't St. Petersburg.
Where was that?
That was Wooders and Dale Mabry, Tampa Bay. It was right by Mons Venus.
All right, Tampa Bay, St. Petersburg is the same thing.
Yeah, it's
All
only
right.
30 miles difference. No, it's not like Broomall Newtown Square. It's a little bit different.
Well, yeah, but we didn't
Yeah, but
only
we
have
actually
a
had
place
two
in
of them.
Clearwater.
Or
Well,
no, that
yeah,
might
that's
have
what
been
I'm saying.
Salt
But we
Lake.
didn't only have the place in
Dude, we had so
in
many
Clearwater.
places.
I know,
It was
I know.
unbelievable.
I'm realizing that now.
Yeah, it was.
Yeah, owned or rented, whatever.
Yeah, it must have been nice.
The show.
Holly missed it all.
It was glorious.
The show opened up with.
Dude, at least 15 times a year. Kids, you're not going. We're going to what's the Park.
Oh, I can't even tell you how many times I skipped school and went to Busch Gardens.
Busch Gardens was like 5 minutes away. It was the greatest thing ever.
Yeah, literally.
This show opened up with Paul E. Dangerously, and he's rocking his hat and his headset, and he let the audience know that Masato Tanaka was not being able to come in from Japan, and that Jerry Lynn was off, so that they were going to have to switch around the card here. So there were some changes made to the card. The show,
Which is cool.
yeah. I like that he acknowledged it, and it's not like the
Well,
matches.
every poster says at the very bottom, what's the very last line say?
Oh, come on.
Card subject to change, baby.
And, I mean, obviously, if you have travel issues, that's going to be a thing. I know AEW just had it last night where, I don't know if it was Samoa Joe or Nick Wayne who couldn't get into Tennessee to work Dynamite last night, but,
that's right. They didn't work.
Well, man,
didn't work.
dude, because maybe all that snow in the
Right.
top of Florida, Louisiana, all the way over in Alabama.
Right, and travel conditions and injuries and things.
Sure.
There's going to be changes to cards sometimes. So, Paul,
I mean, it's not like Joe. Was Joe going to work?
he was going to wrestle last night.
Oh,
yeah.
he was? I haven't
Yeah.
seen him wrestle in a long time.
Yeah.
he
Yeah,
Ever
hasn't-
he came
since he
back-
had the belt or
He
something.
hasn't wrestled in a long time.
Yeah, he hasn't wrestled
But he
since.
did have the belt, and then he lost and rolled.
Yeah,
Who did he lose that belt to?
he lost it to Swerve.
Yeah, lost the
Okay, that's right.
Yeah. This show opened up with the FBI, with their whole crew out there, with Tommy Rich, Big Guido, Sal. They were taking on Danny Doring and Roadkill, and it started off as just them versus Danny Doring and Roadkill, and then soon after came out Axel Rotten and Balls Mahoney. So they wanted to turn it into a traditional ECW three-way dance, which I was fine with.
The homosexual dance party.
I was fine with it. And this match, I thought this was a really, really fun opener. The FBI just pops me every single time. It's
Tracy's selling.
Tracy selling,
He's got his arms out, his legs going.
Dancing in
dude,
between
it's
every
great.
move.
dancing around, prancing around the ring, just
Having
like
a blast.
just absolutely, just like I've said it before, man. Tracy Smothers. I don't know if I've ever not enjoyed watching him wrestle. He is always entertaining, always somebody you just like. I don't know. The camera goes to him. He understands his role perfectly, whatever role it is.
It was a different role. It was a different role for him because he was always at one of the working with the Rock and Roll Express every night and stuff like that. That was a totally different side of the Tracy Smothers that he got to do in the whole first 3/4 of his career.
Yeah, the comedy, right?
Yeah.
He's used to working Southern tags.
I couldn't
and-
keep my eyes off him the whole match, even when there was a wide pan view. Like I was looking at what Tracy was doing. Like,
even his
literally.
apron work, even when he's on the apron,
yeah.
it's just I just
He's doing something.
every moment in the ring, even if he's not the focal point, he is doing something to try to generate heat. And man, I absolutely loved him. I think he's just like super underrated. And wrestling fans out there, if you haven't watched a lot of Tracy Smothers, definitely do a deep dive in his career because he's a one-on-one too.
Oh, and he was one of those guys with like 7,500 matches under his belt.
Yeah, I mean, he worked literally everywhere. He worked All Japan, WCW.
Every day of the year, doubles on Sundays.
It's crazy.
regular
I didn't
Saturdays.
know how extensive like his background was. Like when I was first like around that, like I didn't know how extensive his background was. I didn't know how extensive Tommy Rich's background was. Like
Well, yeah, those guys had 20 years in freaking then.
That's wild.
right,
Tommy
like,
Rich did.
Yeah, I didn't even know that like then. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm just learning
in
it
the
like
beginning of the 80s when we got TBS, dude. In the beginning, in the 80s, Wildfire was on that show.
Right, when he was a
Gordon
upstart,
Soley.
babyface working for NWA and WCW.
And Tommy was so great, and all I can think about is the times we were over his house in Savannah when we had the pay per view over there, and like we stayed at his house.
The best.
And had all the styrofoam Al Snow heads delivered there, and like he was with all
Tracy was like a
Great people.
real like tough dude, wasn't he?
Probably, maybe one of at some points, probably the toughest guy in our locker room.
I know you've said that many times that he is.
He ain't no joke.
Yeah.
How did you know? How did you like? Was there an instance where
You just knew.
really?
And the stories that he came up with, bare knuckles boxing on every July 4th, because he was the toughest dude on his plantation down there. So if you were the toughest dude, you fought the toughest dude on every other guy's plantation down there.
Like
and all the
Django?
you'd be like in a cockfight, and all the owners would be out there like for betting each other, like betting $100 bills as the fight was going on. He's fighting 26-year-old men. He's like a 14, 13-year-old kid.
Wow.
Is that just like word of mouth through the locker room, or
No,
like-
that was him sitting there and telling me the stories.
Oh, all right.
That's some wild shit. Dude.
What if he was just a pussy?
Yeah,
and he was
just,
like, yeah.
he worked you. He worked you all
Yeah.
these years. He got so he has this rep in
No,
the
dude,
business.
that mother, he was ready to go. Oh my God, he was like perfect example is in L.A. when the XPW guys were there. That he could not wait to get out there and kill somebody.
You just know it with certain guys.
He wanted to go every second of every day. If some little thing happened, he'd be like, taking his jacket off, taking his shirt off, in hotel lobbies, anything.
That's great.
He was ready to go.
All right, so don't question Tracy Smothers' tie. That's the thug right
Hey,
there,
listen,
man.
Rest in
you know,
peace.
Rest
Don't
in
let the comedy fool you.
Yeah,
okay?
don't let the dance moves fool you.
I'm just trying to get to the bottom of it.
Danny Doring and Roadkill got eliminated when Rich hit Doring with the Italian flag, and then they hit him with a double suplex, the FBI.
Tommy was a hair late.
Yeah, and then
Well, Tracy should have never been doing. Tracy was powdering, and he never should have been the one that had to distract the referee. When you have Big Sal and you have Big Guido
Yeah,
out
there's 7
there,
guys out there, and he's doing the work.
Tracy should have never, because he was late, which in turn made the other guys late. You know what I'm saying? But that's just
No, it's a
nitpicking
great-
wrestling
little-
shit.
that's a great point, Ty. It's a good call out, man. The FBI was working over on Balls. Then he suplexed Guido, tagged out. Ian Rotten was then in for a hot tag. I don't know how hot it was. He did a little dusty elbows, and then they hit some finishers on the FBI to give Axel and Balls the win. Got a pretty big pop here.
Good timing on the finish. I thought the finish was really well.
How long
done.
did this one go? This was what?
6 minutes,
Yeah,
54 seconds.
it wasn't that much. I think
All of that?
I think we've talked about it longer than
that
the match
had
was.
that couldn't have been from
Bell to like.
Maybe it included
Because they-
after Axel.
Ian and Axon got in
yeah.
there because they bullshitted for like 5 minutes. Just those two teams until Axel and Balls got in there.
Axel and Balls pick up the win. I'm going to give this 2.5 stars.
I'm going 3.
3?
Yeah. I
Okay.
thought it was really good.
Yeah, it was fun. Yeah, just a little hair low
Timing's
for
good. Solid match.
yeah.
Yeah, time's great. Good finish. 3.
3. Ty.
Yeah, I gotta go 3. And you know me, I'm a Finnish corleone.
And
So
the thing that probably stood out the most for me in this match, even though it's super small, is the timing on the breakups on the pin.
Yes.
yeah, it was very good.
Yeah, is you got to do it a little bit earlier, and you got to get there earlier. The ref can't slow down the count
No.
and wait for you to get there. And I see that too much nowadays.
Guido
I'd
had-
like it to be more on the 1 count instead of the 2.
Yeah, guys are jumping on 2.5, and then the ref's got to stop the count.
Yeah,
Right.
Guido had
Yeah.
a great one off the top rope where they had where they jumped that off, and yeah, it was good. Timing was good. Everything. I mean, it's like it wasn't great as far as like we normally say on like a triple threat tag or whatever.
But
where
it's not
everybody-
supposed to be.
it's
That's not their
right,
match.
It's, right.
Right.
It's not
Their match is
supposed to
boom,
be.
spot, boom, spot, boom, spot,
Right.
boom, spot.
So everything,
Get the crowd
everything was
up
good.
as an opener. I thought it did its job.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
I actually liked Balls and Axel being thrown in there. I thought it was different.
Yeah, I think it gave it a good element. Up next was a Terry Funk promo. So Funk had turned heel on Tommy Dreamer at this point.
Yeah, what was I don't remember any of this.
So Funk turned heel on Dreamer. They had a program with Jake the Snake at previous month's November, or a couple months before November to Remember, and Tommy was feuding with Terry, and they never really built up to that match fully. And Terry Funk was in WCW again shortly after this.
Well, he had said that Tommy chose Jake the Snake for his like mystery partner.
Yeah, they had
something like that.
they had a tag match at November to Remember the month before, but he cuts a promo and he talks about his dad killing a jackass on the farm because the jackass kicked him in the nuts, which
great.
Ollie's laughing right now. Like I'm kind of wondering if that was a shoot or not. Like I don't know. I mean, who knows?
You don't know what
Terry.
Terry.
Yeah, you don't know,
fucking
but-
I'm
know.
laughing at the fact that he just kept saying jackass.
Yes.
Like, and it's just like, that's just so Terry.
Yeah, it's just so Terry.
And then he's like, you got a teaspoon of blood, a tablespoon of blood, a pint of blood, a quarter of blood. And like you can tell,
Any
like he's
volume
just,
that he can figure
yeah,
out.
like he's just trying to like roll off, like just thinking of Terry. Like if you know Terry, like it's hilarious just being around. Like, and I wasn't even around him that much, but he's just.
I thought it was a hilarious promo. I thought it was a great, like he was just a crazy old man, and it just worked. So I was a fan of the promo. Up next on the show was Super Crazy and Yoshihiro Tajiri. This was the ECW pay-per-view debut for both of these guys, and they went on to have a lot of like Hack, your favorite bangers, and this match was like you kind of see the beginnings of these guys a little bit. They don't have like their looks that we came to know them for fully fleshed out. Like
Crazy kind of did.
Crazy kind of did, but the gear was a little different. But Tajiri,
Tajiri was straight baby face and heavy.
yeah, and not fully fleshed out with his whole character and everything at this point. But man, the work in this match, these guys just had it from day one together in the ring. I
wonder if they've ever worked before.
Absolutely.
In this match,
you don't have
Before this match.
somewhere.
You think-
Absolutely.
you think they've
There's
worked
no
before
way
previous-
they did all that first match. Impossible.
See,
I think differently.
I would love to look into that for
was
next
crisp.
week. We'll get a hack check. We'll see about that one. See if they ever work together. But they were so crisp in this match that it made me think like maybe they had worked together before. I don't know.
Well, because he put over Tajiri freaking being in Mexico, doing the Mexican style. That's why he was doing some Mexican moves. That's what Joey put over. So I'm sure when they met, it was down in Mexico.
But I don't
and
know
then that
how,
met or whatever.
Yeah, but
Interesting.
I don't know how legit that is.
Oh, no, it's probably totally legit.
I'm saying Tajiri doing a backslide. If Joey's calling super crazy doing a backslide, a Mexican move, and then Tajiri does a backslide.
Okay, backside's
Joey-
not a Mexican move.
No, whatever they did, the leg through the leg
They did
through
it-
the
well, they did it
arms,
rolling,
where the
freaking
the
what's it
rollover,
name?
whatever. He was calling that Mexican style, and I'm wondering
He
if
finished him with a Mexican move.
I'm wondering
That
if
thing where he had him spun him around like
That was
that's
but then
a Mexican move.
Yes, but then he did the dragon suplex.
But just because Tajiri knows the Mexican style doesn't mean he worked with Crazy.
Yeah, I'm just wondering. I'm just wondering if
guarantee they
Joey's
worked.
covering his own, not covering his own ass, but he's just giving Tajiri credit for pulling that move off because Joey said that was a Mexican style move previously in the match. So he's saying that. Oh yeah, he's familiar with the Mexican style. You know what I'm saying?
We'll have to check into this for next
Yeah,
week.
that
We'll
it
get
would
back.
make total sense because that's what they would do back then.
Right.
They were switching talent all the time, but we just didn't know about it because freaking you never heard about it.
Right, and I got to give Paulie a lot of credit. There's one thing that Paulie did really, really well is
Use the Mexican talent.
but constantly find new talent and identify talent that was never on a stage before, bring them in, and at first the crowd was kind of cold on them a little bit, but they warmed up to him right away once they saw that they could go.
Well, yeah, but you got to kind of think about it too. This is ECW, dude. These people have seen years, and all of a sudden, Paulie's going to put out two brand new dudes in the second match.
Right.
Well,
you can wonder why they're like a little like, but the smart ones were like, well, the smart ones were the computer ones. The ones that were everybody was on the internet.
Well, they're
back
like,
then.
hey, we've seen Rey Mysterio and Psychosis before, so obviously these guys probably
good
can
point,
go.
yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, if they're bringing these dudes in, they can probably go a little bit.
Yeah, and these two guys just chemistry in the ring together. Hack, when you find somebody that you got chemistry with, what is that like in the ring?
So easy. It's just like a lovely night.
And you see it to this day. These guys
You don't
just
have to care about anything. You don't have to remember anything. Remember the finish. That's it.
and just go.
Yep.
You got a hat
He
check
knows
right
if
here,
I'm
Ollie?
doing this, he's doing this. You know what I mean? You just know. It's a watching body language too. You don't have to hit me with a clothesline, dude.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? I know what you're doing.
Right. You got a hack check here?
On first glance on Cage Match for Super Crazy versus Tajiri, it has a match for them in CMLL in 1998.
Wow, vindicated hack here.
It's not a one-on-one match.
Well, I would have figured it was like a 6-man or
There's
something.
a lot
six-man.
of six mans in
That's all
Mexican
they do
wrestling.
down there.
A lot of six
It was
mans,
a
the
six-man,
trios.
so
Wow, Hack's taking a
I
bow.
know. What's that thing
who knows
called?
if they ever touched it?
Wait, what's the name of that thing?
CMLL.
Yes.
No, the name of the site.
It's cage match. We use it all the time, man. It's
Cage
awesome.
match, I love you. Yes, victory!
Johnny Drama over here.
Yes, I love it that you got drama. What a great show.
Yeah, the best. This match was super fun. I really, really love this match. They did a lot of their standard spots, including the Mexican surfboard, which I love.
That rolling surfboard thing,
Awesome stuff.
I didn't like. First catch Crazy does to him is great. Tajiri
And
lets
then-
him drop on the freaking
Yeah.
floor. And holds his ankles back from fucking breaking his fall, too. When a guy's doing that spot, the last thing you want to catch is just his feet. Because that means his back is hitting everything. Right on
Dude, the
floor.
first Crazy does an amazing job catching Tajiri
He
on the
steps
first one.
three, he steps forward three. Like I told you, you always be back so you can go forward.
Yeah, he noticed that Tajiri on the springboard backflip was and he steps 3 forwards
Lunged
up,
right under him.
Goes right under him, and Tajiri was too far back on Super Crazies, but the second time, Tajiri did a great catch. Yeah,
The second
Tajiri had
catch
a
was
great
great.
catch
Yes.
on Super Crazy. So
On the other side of the ring.
yeah, so I guess he maybe was out of position or underestimated.
Well,
on
that
the
one
first
side, there
but-
was a lot of room right there. There was like 15 feet. On the other side, there was like 6
that was the
or
most
7.
feet. That was the most feet from ring to guard I've seen
Ever
in an
in a
ECW.
Right.
No, in an ECW show in a fucking long time. And then
Yeah, it was long.
and further on,
And then
Joey's,
when Van Dam dove through and do it or whatever, we'll get to it.
oh yeah, and Joey was like, "Yeah, we don't use those kiddie mats or whatever." I think actually there was mats on the floor
So did I.
during this one, which was maybe the first time they ever had, and Joey happened to pull that line out. But yeah, no, that's a good call, Hack, because I thought Crazy's catch on him the first time was an awesome job by him. But
I absolutely love this match for what it was. It wasn't. I don't know if it's the best I've ever seen them, but man, this was fire. I loved it. I'm gonna go 4 stars for it. Ollie,
3.5.
3.5. Hack.
There was no pin.
There was the Dragon Suplex
Dude,
pin.
his
Shoulder
shoulders
was
were
on the mat.
6 inches. Not one shoulder was on the mat.
Now one was
It was like
off.
it was like this far
yeah,
off.
yep.
And they had the nerve to show it on replay.
And Joey
they
said
got
it
the
was-
camera like right in there.
And
They-
Joey
they
said it
actually
was a great
changed the camera.
replay.
Yeah, they
Joey
changed
said
the
it was a
camera
great
view.
replay too, or a great replay. He said. So you're
The replay showed there was no pin.
okay. So you're going 2 stars because
I
there
have
was no
to for
pin.
that.
Okay. All right.
It's your job to release the guy enough to grab him down low enough to get enough shoulders back there. You know what I'm saying?
Okay. Ty.
2.5. I thought the spots in the match were very good, but I don't think that the match had any cohesion whatsoever. Like, I don't think there was any flow or anything to the match. And like we were talking about, had they worked before, if they had it, like they had it in a 6-man, but clearly, like they had some familiarity. So like, but this is their first time. But they've had a lot of better matches after this. Like there was a lot
Because
of great
they learned how to American style it with the Mexican style.
There was a
like
lot of
Ray good.
There was a lot of great work and great spots, but it was just that. It was
But
just
that's
spot.
Mexican wrestling back then, and almost still to this day. It's like no rhyme, no reason, just be ping ponging everywhere.
Right, but it wasn't
Not
like,
a lot of psychology.
I didn't feel like
It's a different psychology.
I didn't feel
it's
like
not the
it
same
was,
psychology.
Yeah, I didn't feel like it was like all over the place, helter skelter. I just thought it was like spot,
That's it.
spot, spot.
Nobody
like,
worked the crowd. Nobody considered the crowd a lot.
there was nothing. There was no like one spot leading to another spot. It was just like we're doing this spot, then we're doing that spot.
I see your criticism of it, but to me, I'm like, man, for these two guys, for at this stage, being on an American pay-per-view in this audience and going out there,
Oh yeah,
and
yeah.
to me, like, they didn't blow a lot of spots. I know it was a lot of spots.
No.
And the finish, yes, the finish was not perfect. Okay. But
No,
and I've seen him do better, but I thought for a debut match for these two guys, maybe I'm a little rosy judging and giving it 4, but I really enjoyed this one.
Ollie, how
No,
long
it-
was that match?
11 minutes and 30 seconds.
No, and I see and appreciate every point that you just made, and you're probably right on a good amount of them. Just the way that I was looking at it and judging at it, like I don't know, maybe I'm blinded by the fact that I've seen them like do
Better.
like the way they did so much better. I'm like kind of probably downgrading on like the actual performance of it, you know, for me. So like 2.5 is just. It's more like I've seen better from them than it is more of the actual match itself that they put out there.
Yeah.
If that makes sense.
Yeah, no,
Like,
it does. And the one thing too, man, GCW, they were at the Hammerstein this past weekend. Super crazy, man. He hit a balcony moonsault.
I need to watch that show.
Oh, there's some cool stuff on it.
Is
There's
there
some.
a way to rewatch that show?
I'll have to get with you guys after the show here.
Oh, that balcony moonsault. He was like 20 feet in the air, easy.
Yeah, Yeah, and it's 2025. He's doing it. This show was 1999. I mean, like it's pretty amazing to see.
Name ain't super crazy for no reason.
The girl got hurt in that show, didn't she? Break her leg or
She
something?
She broke her leg. Alley Cat. Unfortunately, there's a GoFundMe out there. So if you guys have any,
Yeah, so hit it up if you want to.
hit it up if you want. But overall, I really enjoyed this match. Up next on the show, this was
Wow.
Oh my God, I love.
Wow.
This might have been my favorite part of the
That's all
entire
I
show.
put was wow.
Hack put wow for this one. This might have been my favorite part of the entire show. It's such a weird thing to like, but out comes Cronus, and Cronus is rocking a singlet at this point. Saturn's been in WCW for a while. Cronus
Wearing the kilt.
is not quite yet for him, but he's in WCW at this point. And then out comes Judge Jeff Jones. And Hack, any memories of Judge Jeff Jones, him in ECW or anything?
No, he was cool. He never got the heat that Gertner got in the beginning. You know what I mean? And that's only the difference.
Jones
between
was
the two.
originally a ref, correct?
Yes.
Yeah.
Well,
Yes.
that's what I'm saying. He worked from ref and then to I guess.
Yeah, I don't even know where that came from.
A worker or whatever.
Well, because Mike wasn't cutting the greatest promo ever.
Right, but this is before Awesome and him are together as an act, I believe. And he cuts a promo, and I like how he tied it into Guilty as Charged. He referenced like Bill Clinton and OJ and things, and then he
went guilty as charged one more time. When he went, I'm the judge, jury. I thought he should have went right to the executioner there. Instead of saying guilty as charged, and then here's my executioner.
Well, I love the audience. If you look at the audience when you guys are watching this, and look at the crowd when he says "psycho,"
they fucking went,
dude.
Yeah,
That some people in the front row are like throwing up their fists. They're getting excited.
Yeah.
And then when he says "vicious," they're like, "Oh my God, is this really?" And then when he says "Sid Vicious," Sid comes out and he gets a pop, dude.
Dude, that's the biggest I've ever seen him.
He was fucking huge.
His traps were so huge.
He was.
Oh man.
Would you say he was cut?
Ripped, chiseled, and jacked. Oh my God, he was like the Hulk.
He was gigantic, and I don't know why, but him in jeans in his ECW era was even more badass. The fact he wasn't in any gear, he was just rocking.
Joey
jeans.
says he's not even in wrestling.
Yeah, I loved it. Like,
Big difference.
Yeah, like it mattered. Like, yeah.
Sid, we talked about it when he passed, man. Sid just had aura, like I don't know what it was with him, man. He just had a connection with the crowd, and I'm a big Sid mark, man.
Gotta love
Dude,
a guy would rather go to a softball tournament than go to a pay-per-view.
I love it, dude. Like your priorities.
Yeah,
Wonder how far you can hit the ball.
Oh God,
monster,
dude, looking like that, could you imagine that? He could hit a ball 500 feet easily.
yeah.
Dude, but I couldn't imagine, like, if he continued on that, like, the actual, like, what 911 was supposed to be type deal, like, with ECW. I mean, because how long, what did he make this appearance and then...
He was there for, like, I want to say a couple months. Maybe he probably worked, like, only, like, 5 or 6 matches. Maybe a little bit more than that in ECW.
Right, that's what I'm saying.
And he was
but,
back
like,
in WCW very shortly.
Yeah, I mean, he could have easily been, like, fucking huge in ECW. Like, that was kind of probably a perfect spot for him.
I just wanted to see him choke slam Taz.
Oh, could you imagine that? Oh my God!
He's like 3 feet taller than Taz in the ring.
So he comes out with Cronus, and I mean, he just immediately choke slams him through a table on the outside.
Yeah, that was
Oh my God! He just like throws him. He just chucks him, and Cronus takes a huge bump through the table.
And then Love taps him with the chairs.
Yeah, the chair shots were. I like how he kind of like guided his body for the back with the one chair shot on the back.
He was like, roll over.
Yeah, here, bitch, I'm gonna hit you with the back of this. And he finishes him with a powerbomb in the ring for a squash match. I don't know if there's ever been a better squash match wrestler than Sid. Seriously, I loved him wrestling squash matches, man. I could watch Sid squash matches all day. This is like
What an animal.
it's not a match, but it's 5 stars for me. I can't, you know what I mean? Like this
whole
was
thing,
just so entertaining. Absolutely loved it. I thought it was awesome. Sid's cup of coffee in ECW was certainly really cool. I wish
I would have liked to hung around with him in the locker room more.
Sid.
Yeah.
Did you ever have any interactions with him in WCW?
Well, yeah. When me and JT Smith went to Aberdeen, the proving grounds up here in between here and Baltimore, to do a dark match for WCW on a Saturday afternoon. Me and JT, I met him that night. It was outside. I got back in the locker room. Sid runs up to me and goes, "Is the mat hot? Is the mat hot?" I said, "Yeah, it's hot as fuck." Because it was like a black mat, and the sun was beating on it, dude. You couldn't lay on it.
Oh, so Sid wasn't bumping that night.
When was that?
Me and JT,
92?
That
was
was
gonna
Joel
say, like,
Goodhart.
before-
That wasn't
Yeah,
even
yeah,
Todd.
okay, I
That
was
was
gonna
Joel
say before.
Goodhart.
So
Okay.
90,
Yeah,
90, 91, something like that?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, it had to be 90.
Man, that's wild. Cronus took a beating in
Was
this
he wearing
match.
lifters?
Yes.
Sid was?
Yes, he was. Yes. Absolutely.
That's the one guy I will say Sid always had like 2-inch lifters on his boots.
Interesting. Lifter.
I noticed.
Lifter.
Yeah, he wasn't much taller than me in sneakers. He was like maybe 2 inches taller than me in sneakers, and I was like 6'2" and 3/4 then.
Okay. Interesting. I absolutely love this, though.
I mean, even Nash dwarfed him. Like those two standing next together in sneakers, Nash was
Nash is legit like 7 foot.
Yeah, Nash played college basketball for Tennessee, I think.
Yeah,
so-
Yeah, I took him to the hoop.
And one.
Wait, I thought you said it was the other guy, Razor Ramon, that played basketball.
Razor?
Nash.
No, Nash played ball. Nash played ball.
Nash and the Undertaker.
Yeah, so did Big Show. Big Show was Wichita State. So there's
Yeah,
a couple-
Undertaker will fucking cross you up like
Yeah,
AI.
he would. He would. Step over you like Tyronn Lue.
Okay, so.
Yeah, it wasn't a crossover. It was the fucking tombstone back then. It was the fucking...
Up next was a video package to hype up Taz and Shane Douglas. And,
Wow, what a difference in video packages from then to now.
I mean, that's something you really, great call out there because, like, man, this was the best that ECW could do in 1999.
Yeah, it reminded me of a USWA video package.
No, I know it's very simple, and they didn't have a lot of money to put into it and stuff, and it was just basic, trying to give you a little recap and of what's
It was
going
kind
on.
of like those November to Remember, like
November Rain ones and
Yeah,
stuff.
like
Yeah,
those kind of just like long out things, but like tried to play different music on the back, and it just didn't hit the same. Like
Yeah, but it's like, I think that was like kind of the beauty of it, that it didn't look that great. Like, nobody gave a fuck about the production of it.
no, it didn't matter. It's ECW, right?
Yeah, it was just like synopsis.
Yeah, it was a little bit to catch up to speed of what's going on, why he was getting the title shot. He kind of gave Taz the FTW title, and they were going to do a
Yeah, it was good for me. I hated that when we get to it.
Yeah, okay. Up next was the Dudley Boys, and they were out with the whole group, and they did a whole rundown. Joel Gertner.
Now, why weren't they scheduled for a match?
What?
Why weren't? Because Joey's saying that they're not even scheduled for a match. They're not even supposed to be here. That's what Joey's saying.
I don't know.
Why? If they're in the company, they're not with Vince yet, are they? Or is Vince borrowing them for a night?
No. They're not in WWF until September or October of '99. So they're there basically most of the rest of '99, and still in ECW. And you could see the Dudleys like. Man, they were such a great act at this point as heels.
Bubba was fat shit.
He was. He was.
Oh my God.
He was.
But looking at the card and looking at the show and where they were, there wasn't really a place for them because Sabu and Van Dam were tag titles, but they had placed Sabu in that angle with Taz and Shane, and Sabu was supposed to be on the shelf. You know what Sabu had been on the shelf with that broken neck or whatever
And
for a while.
RVD was TV supposed to
And
work Tanaka.
And RVD was TV supposed to work Tanaka, so there was no other like tag, and Spike was supposed to be in that thing with Lance and Jerry Lynn or whatever.
Yeah, what else tag teams out there besides the 3 that they used in the opening?
Right, that's what I'm saying. Like, are you gonna put the Dudley like that's? They probably just didn't have a feature for them there, and then the fucking whole, Tanaka not being available, Jerry Lynn not being available, and then
Are Justin and Lance a tag team yet?
Impact players at this point.
I don't believe so. I don't believe so.
I mean, not that it would have mattered, but those two are separated, so you couldn't even do those.
Yeah,
two,
I don't think they were at
Justin's
this point.
working Tommy.
That's what I'm saying. So even if they were, you couldn't.
You could have done them and Balls and Axel, but I think whatever. You're gonna do you want to get a crowd brawling match, I think, on this card, and who better to do that with?
You're looking for a spot for Spike.
You're looking for a spot for New Jack too. I mean, get New Jack on here. I mean, it makes
that's
sense.
what I'm saying, and what makes more sense, like Okay, throw Spike with New Jack.
Yeah, throw Spike with New Jack.
Him coming out with the fucking do-rag over the
Dude.
face with the hand wave.
This match
hilarious.
is all about Spike dressing up as a gangsta
Hilarious.
with New Jack. The get-up that Spike Dudley has in this match is absolutely hilarious and awesome. But as a match, when I go back and watch these, like, a lot of these New Jack brawls, you got to put yourself in the time and the place of it. It's for more of the fans in the building, I think, than the fans at home sometimes. And they're tough to rewatch. Like, they're not... It's not a lot of cohesion. It's not a lot of, like, spots. It's not a lot of... It's just a brawl.
It's tough to watch, but when you're there, it's fucking awesome.
Right. And you give everybody around the building a little something.
You're in the front row at some time during
Right.
the show.
And it's cool. When you're in the building watching one of those matches, I'm telling you, they're great. Like,
And Natural Born Killers is just bumping on repeat.
yeah, you can't... Like, that's the other thing, too. You got to, like, steal these shows. Don't watch them on Peacock. Steal ECW somehow off the internet. Because you really want Natural Born Killers to be playing the entire time during this match, besides whatever the network dubs
How
in.
long was this, Ollie? It seemed like forever.
It
10
did-
minutes.
It was forever.
That's it?
It seemed like
It's-
forever.
yeah.
That's a long time for a New Jack.
Yeah, it seemed way longer.
Yeah, I mean, I there was some cool stuff. Like Bubba did the Bigelow Spike Dudley spot where he threw him, which I thought was
Couple
cool.
times.
Yeah, I thought. I mean, that's cool, but you know, not really a whole lot to it. Big Dick did end up getting involved, and he took pretty big guitar shots. That was pretty cool. There wasn't a whole lot in this match to recap, really.
No, the best thing was once they got into Spike getting like that hot tag or whatever, where he's giving everybody these acid drops and stuff. With everything's great from then.
Yeah.
From then to the end, it's like it's perfect.
Beginning at home.
Yeah, and I thought the Dudleys did a really good job of selling for New Jack too. They were doing really good stuff there, and
You didn't notice you didn't see a lot of New Jack and Bubba interaction.
no, they had heat. Is that what you're
I
trying
don't
to tell
know.
me? I've
I
heard.
don't know, but I don't think they touched the whole match.
Well, no, if you think about it, I mean, how many... Dude, the Dudleys and the Gangsters worked a shit ton. Like, probably previously.
Yeah, but
like,
it always seemed like New Jack was with Devon. Yeah,
No, they have a lot of familiarity, though.
totally.
I think back in the day, I've heard some shoots before from New Jack where he was not really complimentary towards the Dudleys when they got to WWF, and they took like the fatigues look, and he thought that they kind of like stole his gimmick, and I don't know how much of that
The
was
camo?
Yeah, the camo and stuff. I don't know how much of that was New Jack working in a shoot, or if there was legit heat or anything. You ever hear anything about them having beef or anything, Hack? No,
But
No.
it ain't because of camos.
That's
Just ain't.
It ain't because of camos. Okay. The finish, they hit a 3D on the ramp, and that knocked out.
Oh, the Bubba bomb from the top rope was unbelievable.
Oh yeah, that was a really nice spot.
Oh, God, he freaking planted it with that
Yeah,
thing.
yeah, that was a really good
Jesus.
spot. And then Spike was doing, like you said, the comeback, and then he ate a 3D inside the ring for the finish.
But do you notice that Bubba took care of Jack when they gave him the 3D out on the
Yeah.
on
Yes.
the runway? Bubba just landed his whole body on top of
yeah,
him.
yeah, that took him out of it. But you know, look, this is a Dudley Boy is a New Jack match. It's not really. I can't really give this a star. Ollie, anything?
No, I mean,
Yeah.
it is what it is.
It is what it
It's the
is.
same old run-of-the-mill
Yeah.
fucking...
I don't know if we've ever given New Jack thing a star.
You can't.
Yeah.
It's not really like you can't really go star with it because it's something different. But
Other than like the early Gangsta days, if we've ever like like when it was like Gangsta's Public Enemy and Hack, maybe like where they actually like had somewhat of a match where it wasn't just all.
it's
know,
something
yeah.
else.
Just
Yeah.
mosh.
It's something else. Yeah, I mean, it is what it is. It was a time and a place, and it's a wild thing. And I think the crowd enjoyed it. You
Dude,
know,
when you're in that, being
When New Jack, when you hear that, like the beginning of New Jack,
Yeah.
dude,
yeah, you get
like,
there's
hyped.
nothing like it.
Yeah, you get hyped,
dude,
man.
Ollie, you never even been in that fucking crowd, and you can like I'm telling you right now, as a 9-year-old kid, when that bombs whistled
Dude, the
in,
whole place
I was
is
like,
just
yeah, I was like, oh shit,
Yeah.
like, and I was
Everybody's thinking that.
like literally,
In
and
the
I was
building.
like chasing around, running around, like watching every spot they did, like everything, like dude, it was when you're in that arena.
It's electric.
It hits so much fucking different than watching it on TV.
Yeah.
Like it's It's so much fucking. I can't even imagine being like a 20-year-old. Like, dude, if I was a 20-year-old, like, I don't know what I would.
No, you'd lose your shit. I mean,
yeah, like if I was like drinking beers, like being like, I was like, oh,
I'm
like,
ready to go start a riot out the street.
that's what I'm
Yeah.
saying.
Really
Like,
are.
A more perfect song choice.
No,
Yeah.
yeah, you're ready to rob
Like,
a
I was a
convenience
fucking-
store. You're ready to,
right.
yeah, you're ready to
I'm a
carjack
fucking 9-year-old
somebody.
kid rolling around like, oh,
About
like
to stick
shit.
my hand in a cash register right
I'm
now.
like, you
and
better
take
fucking
something.
sell that, motherfucker.
Yeah.
Like rolling around, like, but no, dude. If you're in the crowd when that shit happened, there was nothing fucking better that happened. They didn't care. They didn't care if it was a 1, 2, 3. If there was anything, like they just wanted to see carnage.
Yeah.
Every time New Jack came out, and he delivered.
He did. He always
They
delivered.
wanted to see him dive off a balcony and
And the guitar hit.
Actually,
Yeah,
should
right.
have had a spike dive in that match.
Yes.
Well,
There
he
you go.
did, just not by choice. But
Yeah, he was thrown. He was
dude,
chucked.
I wish I would have saw a better angle of when Bubba threw him the first time if he made it over to guardrail because
I don't know. It seemed like I don't think he made it.
I don't
wanna
know
say
if he
he-
did.
It was
either.
far. I
Dude,
wanna
that
say
was
he did.
far.
Only because there was no follow up really by him not. Like I feel like Joey would have said he didn't make it if he didn't.
I
Yeah,
thought,
I don't know if the camera
they
angle
threw
was
him
funny.
over.
I was surprised they didn't go from the ramp the first time to throw. Like he threw him from middle of the
threw him
ring
from-
to the corner. Like that
Yeah.
was
Not like
far.
Bammer, but
Yeah.
No. It was-
oh, anybody bigger, Bubba wouldn't have been able to press him. It wasn't like Bubba was working out in the gym much.
Not then.
Probably couldn't have done a push-up. Well, he probably would have been laying on his stomach. His arms might not actually reach the ground.
Up next on the show, Joey Styles. I like this bit of commentary that he had too. He told us that Lance Storm was coming in to face RVD, and then he said, "I like how Joey just throwing this in that Storm would be at an advantage since RVD was preparing for Masato Tanaka, like it's a UFC fight, and the guy didn't make weight or something. He's got to get a different opponent. I just like little Joey
It's
calls
great.
like that.
Yeah, you never know.
I know he's just it's great little Joey call. This is RVD and Lance Storm. Man, I really thought that this was really, really good stuff. I thought this was like just
Besides almost killing that little kid out in the audience. That little kid was dead under RVD's whole
oh
body.
my god, that was wild.
His dad like pulled her out from under by his arm.
Oh god, that was wild. This was fun stuff though. Like I thought that RVD's got such a great offense. His shine, his portion is just money, man. Like I could watch RVD on offense like any day of the week, man. And Lance Storm is just as like crisp as they come in the ring. Did you ever get a chance to work Lance much, Hack?
Nah, no.
Not a whole lot. Not much.
Well, it was
I mean,
him and Justin, maybe.
When you first got back to ECW?
Yeah, like maybe him and Justin, but no, I wouldn't. I don't.
I don't think I would say ain't never been in a match with him, but
but
Your first match back to ECW,
was with Lance. Storm.
1999,
Yeah.
six-man tag.
Yeah, we November to Remember '99. But what was Lance? Because to me, Lance is always
it was.
Yep.
Yeah,
Oh, was that me and Dreamer in Buffalo?
you, Dreamer, Raven.
Versus
Yeah.
Rhino, Justin. and
I
Lance.
wonder if me and Lance did anything
Yeah,
during
you
the match.
did. You were two. Yeah, you two were. in
I
the
fucked
ring.
him up real bad.
Yeah, it was basically you two the whole match.
I'm like, take this
Nah.
out, bird it. Candidate.
What was he like in the locker room? Because I kind of
As
picture
stiff as he was outside.
just
Stiff as he was in a ring.
because Lance Storm to me, like he seems like he is the guy that like
Quiet dude.
Yeah, quiet, nice guy, and things like that. But like
Totally.
not like a
No extrovert in there at all.
none.
No.
And
You would never hear him in the locker room ever. He's like a William Regal.
Yeah.
Regal was the
Yeah,
same
well,
way.
Especially
Regal
not from what I
talking
saw.
higher
Like
than
every
this.
time, like dude, I don't know if I ever heard the dude like say a word really. Being
Going
around,
over a
like-
match or something. But
Yeah. Okay. That's interesting. What did you guys think of the work in this match? What did you guys think about this overall?
I thought it was awesome.
Yeah.
I thought it was a really good match all the way around. Like the spots. I mean, the spots outside the ring over the guard
DDT on
rail.
the floor.
Yeah, everything. The reverse. Were you talking about the reverse DDT?
the one
Yeah,
outside,
everything?
yeah.
that looked brutal.
Yeah, it did look brutal. Yeah, I don't know, but all the work that they did. I mean, the time, like, dude, Lance Storm's a great worker, and so is RVD. I don't know. It was a great match. It was a great match.
Yeah, I really, really enjoyed it. The finish was a sequence of a bunch of counters, and then RVD got a German suplex for
Didn't love the finish.
I thought that was weird. I don't know if I remember a lot of RVD matches ending with a German.
I wasn't expecting
I wasn't expecting it either. I haven't watched the show.
I've never seen him win with a German.
That's what I mean. It was a weird finish to me. I don't know.
He probably shooting on Taz with that. You never know, guys. You never know.
You think it was a statement German?
Yeah, maybe. I mean, you never seen him do one before. I mean, come on. But that could have been an easy way to get out of the match, though, too, without having to hurt Lance. You know what I'm saying? Like it's like
the
an
reverse.
Yeah.
Like,
all right, he caught me real quick.
right.
You know what I mean? He didn't beat me, leave me laying.
Right. I enjoyed the shit out of this match.
The match was great.
I'm going to give it 4 stars. Ollie, what are you giving it?
Yeah, 4.
4.
Yeah.
4.5.
4.5, Ty?
Yeah, I'm gonna go for it. Dawn was actually very good in the match.
Oh, love Dawn.
Like her facials and she knew every time the camera was on her, she was saying something that made sense.
Yeah, she knew dummy.
Yeah, she was very well. And I mean, Fonzie's Fonzie, obviously, but yeah, 4. Finish was a little weird, but I mean, 4 stars.
Yeah. Tommy Dreamer up next here in the Stairway to Hell match. Justin Credible, Tommy Dreamer. Justin Credible had...
Oh, wait. The one more thing about that match that I liked was Rob got caught a lot doing things. Like jumping up here. He'd get his legs taken out. Jumping up over here, getting his legs taken out. It was good because those two know each other so much that it was showing intelligence on Lance's part. That's all.
No, that's a great point. It's not the first time they've been in the ring together. This guy knows his stuff.
Well, and
He's
Joey had
scouted him.
mentioned that too. He was like, Lance is just one step ahead of Rob Van Dam on everything he does. Like, yeah.
And the Finnegan bump was great.
Yeah.
The Finnegan bump was great. He was off his feet, left, and then they had a great false after that.
Yeah.
The Finnegan bump, great false.
I loved it. I loved it.
Lance went for the cover, and obviously Finnegan's down. And then something happened, and RVD got Lance, and then
he got a chair kicked in his face. I think it was.
Yeah. Fonzie came in and tried to hit him with the chair. Lance catches it.
Yeah.
That's right.
And then turns around and RVD hits him.
Yeah, and then that was the false right there.
It was a visual.
Yep.
Yeah, and that gives him a little bit of an out too.
Yep.
Up next was the Stairway to Hell match between Justin Credible and Tommy Dreamer. Justin Credible had this is at the point where they're really trying to elevate Justin in the company, and they give him. I mean, how many people can you give a guy to have heaters to try to get him over? I mean, he's got out Jason.
He's got Jazz.
He's got Nicole.
He's got Nicole the Beast.
Nicole the Beast.
No, she looked great from the neck down.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like a beast animal, like Amazon chick.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
And he's got Terry Funk. I mean, how many people do you give a guy to try to get him over?
The thing is they didn't introduce Jazz. I don't know if you noticed anything.
She looked good too.
Like Jazz was, and when she got involved in the match, Joey was like, "Well, who's this?" You know, I
didn't even catch that.
Yeah, they were like, "Oh, who's this?" Whenever she got involved and did her spot or whatever, Joey didn't put her over, and they didn't announce her. They said Nicole Bass, they said Jason, they said Justin. Jazz was out there, but they didn't announce her whatsoever. And then whenever she did her thing, Joey was like, "Oh, well, who's this? We don't know who this is." Didn't acknowledge her throughout the whole match, but when she got in for the spot, he was like, "Oh, who's that?" I don't know. It was strange.
I understand why Paulie pushed Justin in ECW at this point with some of the top card talent leaving and stuff, but
dude, he had moments, man.
He did, and I didn't think the work in this match was bad at all. I thought that this was actually some really good stuff.
Justin, it shows you every reason why he's a pussy. All his spots were his bumps. It was his face bump into there, his face bump into the ladder, his face bump into this. You know what I'm saying? The worst bump he took was Dreamer's fucking when he splashed his fat ass on the ladder. That was his worst bump of the whole match.
But I think it's a little overkill with Justin. It always seemed like a little bit of an over push to me as a fan, where it's like, yeah, he was over as a heel, but how many managers are you giving him to heat him up? It was just and it was always a lot given to him. And what are your thoughts on Justin Credible's push at this point? Do you guys, did you really
I'm fine with it.
You're fine with it? I don't know.
Are you kidding me? This was my boy.
I thought he was a great character.
He was a heel.
He was better when he was bigger. You know what I mean? He wasn't real huge right there. He was one of the only guys that wasn't.
Okay. Yeah, I don't know. I'm never really the biggest Justin fan. I'm not.
Dude, he was very
he had his moments.
very good.
Could work with anybody.
I know he had his
Literally
moments.
anybody.
I know he had his moments, but I don't know. And I thought this match was pretty good too. I'm not hating on this match. I actually think this was maybe one of his better performances.
Very good.
This for a ladder match with all that stuff we just talked about. These two guys did put together a pretty good match, and they did some work with the ladder. Justin worked with it. I like the Pillmanizing the arm in the ladder spot. I thought that was a good spot.
Crowd pop for it, huge.
They did, yeah. And I thought Justin was, his offense looked really good in this match, so I will give him that, too. They did a lot of spots with the heels. Jazz came on and gave Dreamer... I thought she hit him with an awesome snap suplex.
Yep.
Yeah, she did.
It was a really good
Dude,
snap.
she was so before her time.
She would be killing it today.
Killing it.
Female wrestling is big now, and she could work.
Killing it.
She would be awesome today. She really, really would be. I thought she was ahead of her time because at this point in time, WWF's women's wrestling division was just for TNA. It wasn't for.
I met her my first day in USWA.
She was working all the way back then.
We were in the TV station, you know what I mean? So we're in the newsroom, that they did that, the little TV. There was 40 people in the audience. And she was Miss Texas in the locker room.
No, that's Jackie.
Oh.
That's
Wrong one.
That's Jacqueline, huh? Come
All
on.
right.
Miss Texas.
It's not the first time I misplaced people.
Oh, no, it's not. Brian Cage, Nick Gage. And
Was Jackie or? No, she was never in ECW.
She was never in ECW.
WWE.
But yeah, she was in
No, but
WCW.
Jazz was awesome.
hilarious.
Jazz was
She can work her ass off.
She was.
Yeah.
And Rodney, your guy, was cool as shit, too.
Rodney Mack. Rodney Mack.
I got
was-
something right there.
There you go. You
I
got
know
it.
I get Jackie wrong, but I get her husband,
You get her
Rodney,
husband
fucking
right.
back.
You redeem yourself.
There's something wrong with me.
And totally redeemed
I
himself.
wanted to know what it's like living with Hack.
MML fucking match between fucking Super Crazy and fucking what's his face.
CMLL.
And he gets
Jerry and
pissed
Super
off that we
Crazy.
say he's always wrong.
Yeah, well, you get a couple of them, Hack.
Well, you're just assuming.
Fucking Simon Diamond.
They did a spot where Credible pulled him down and he crotched him on the ring post, which I liked.
Yeah, you would.
One thing I liked about this too, and you talked about it last week when we did your ladder match. There wasn't a lot of those bullshit slow climbing spots in this match. I really enjoyed that part of it too, where it's you see that all too often in ladder matches these days, where guys are doing the slow climb up each rung and taking their time. These guys were just going right up at it, and I really like that too. I thought that was very smartly worked by them.
Oh, was it? They were both slow as shit when they did that spot, when they did the DDT. What's the spot they did in between the two ladders?
Oh, the cutter. That's an
It
all-time
took them both fucking 4 hours to set that thing up.
That is an all-time. I was going to say that's an all-time ECW highlight reel.
It was a great bump.
It's a great
face bump.
great spot. The setup was shit.
The execution for it was a little too
The
long.
setup was shit.
Justin was up there halfway up before Tommy even got in the ring.
And he's
with
watching
set his
Tommy
ladder.
And he's
set up
setting
the
up the
other
second
ring.
ladder, yeah.
The setup was shit. The bump was great. The setup was shit.
That's one of those clips that was included in every single ECW video package at that point forward, and probably for eternity.
yeah, you're
you
right.
see it all the time
Yeah, it was
replayed.
that one, and then you have the Pitbull with the Richards power bomb.
Yep.
It's those two.
Yep.
The
That
Taz
Tosh
Black.
is probably ejaculated 250 times.
It's my favorite ECW match ever. I'll say it every chance
Yeah,
I
that
get.
he's probably pumped and chumped to fucking 200 fucking times. Yeah. The fucking double dog collar fucking dildo. Doink, yeah.
Dildo, dog collar.
Yeah.
Double-sided dildos.
Dog collar match. Yeah.
2 out of 3 falls.
See a little bit of money, little bit of
love it. Love that match. I will defend that match.
Yeah, the 2 out of 3 falls.
I will
That's
defend
so
that match
funny.
to the end of time. It's my favorite
You need a
ECW
blue
match.
chew for that one.
I don't need it. I got it. Listen, I don't need a blue chew. I get up for that match
for the
anytime.
for the 2 out of 3 falls,
No,
you definitely need a blue chew.
That third fall, I'm still rock hard for. I'm ready to roll. I'm ready to roll for that third fall. Back to this match. That's great.
All right, and now I gotta say, has Tommy invented one move in his life?
No, they stole all mine in this match.
Tommy stole the cane, stole the side Russian leg sweep,
Stole the Spicoli driver.
stole the DDT
Dude,
from
he comes
Raven,
to the ring
Stole the Dusty Rhodes poke.
Stole Terry Funk's pants too, and the rag on it.
yeah, fucking
Dude, he's the biggest plagiarist on the planet.
his whole career is a lie.
Yeah, he's worse than Led Zeppelin.
Literally, his whole
That's
career is a
great.
fucking lie. He
Wow.
doesn't have one original fucking thing in his bones.
Tommy, we love you, bud. There you go.
I love it. I mean, dude, whatever works. They're like, oh, Tommy with the Raven DDT, Tommy with the Spicoli driver, Tommy with the
that's
Sandman
really what
Russian
it
leg
was.
sweep, Tommy with the Sandman cane, Tommy with this. It's like, holy shit. Tommy with the Dusty elbow, Tommy with the fucking...
He does the dusty elbows too. He
Yeah,
does.
the fucking everything. There's
hilarious.
never once fucking been anybody, with the
Just
Tommy
put one
Dreamer
thing
this.
from like 15 great wrestlers and you're over.
And he stole Raven's post.
Yeah. And his DDT, the whole fucking thing.
Wow.
And Beulah. Did
I
you steal
can't wait
Beulah?
to bring that up to him in a locker room with a bunch of young boys around.
Yeah.
for bar.
My whole fucking flow, bar for bar.
Wow.
That is freaking
The finish of this match.
So Tommy Dreamer is Soldier Boy?
Yes. Yes, he is. No.
Or no, he's fucking...
You're Soldier Boy.
Yeah.
You're Soldier Boy in this case.
I don't even know who Soldier Boy is.
Sandmanja Boy?
Yeah. Okay. The finish of this, Tommy is about to hit Justin, and then Funk comes in, and Funk's not allowing it to happen.
Dude,
He's
stiff
so-
trash can shot.
Dude, he could have hit Tommy with the lower rim, but he got right inside that lower rim, dude. If he hit him fucking a couple more inches towards the end of the can, that could have been.
I think that was
bad.
on Tommy. He was wheeling that. Tommy was like, I gotta get closer to this because Terry was wheeling that thing.
Yeah. Oh, dude, it's just
It's
like he
still
throws them
stiff.
punches.
Oh yeah, and Dreamer's not fighting him back because he's his mentor. So that's the story there. And then Justin hit a tombstone onto the ladder for the finish. I gotta say, I really enjoyed this one. I'm gonna go 3.5 stars for it. Ollie, what do you give this match?
3.5.
3.5. Hack.
Four banger.
Four banger. Four banger. He said. Ty.
4 for how many moves Tommy stole during this match. I thought it was honestly. I thought it was a really good match.
Yeah,
Between both of them, it was great work. There was never a dull moment. The spots were really good. I thought I give it 4.
Yeah. Afterwards, Funk was beating up on Dreamer, but we never really got the blow off for that Tommy and Terry feud there. Up next, Stephen Prazak was trying to get an interview with Taz, and Taz was not in the mood to talk. So, and then Shane Douglas was saying how he
Yeah,
was,
what do you sell toothpicks for a living? He said that.
yeah.
Like what?
Yeah. And then Shane Douglas was saying he's going to retain his belt tonight. And for any,
Shane was huge too right now.
he was. He
Dude,
was.
he looked big, not only like
Not
big,
ripped,
thick,
big.
but like he was like fucking thick and tall, like
So-
lifters.
This is a match for the ECW World Heavyweight title between Shane Douglas and Taz. Taz has been chasing him for a while for the belt. I don't know. This was a match ECW always hyped in like video packages and trying to sell like tapes and stuff as like a classic.
Joey announced it as they first started, like the biggest ECW championship match in like ECW history or something. He said,
Yes.
and I was like, what?
Right. I think
Every match is that.
I know, but the hyperbole for this and even afterwards was like a bit much to me. And
It was stupid that Taz freaking put his belt, had Sabu pin him so he could get that spot.
right. Dumb.
That was, I'm like, what?
Dumb booking. I didn't like that. And this match to me was like almost like two separate matches. You got the match before
It was. Hey, let's go do the town. Let's do our opening. Taz will get over on him. We'll take a powder, go back in, do another spot. Taz will go over on him. Let's go do the audience, come back in and go home.
And then the Sabu run-in afterwards was like the second part of the match. I didn't really like the first part of the match that much because they were kind of trying to do like this serious world title stalling kind of build-up match to go. How long did they go? 25 or so? It's
22.
22.
And half of it was in the crowd.
Yeah, and a
lot of it.
I
honestly liked everything.
Neither one of them's an in the crowd wrestler.
No.
I was just gonna say
It's not
I
in
liked
either one's back.
I liked everything they did until they got it, like except for the crowd work. Everything else they did, I really
that was
liked.
fine.
The opening sequence where Taz is out wrestling Shane.
Yeah, I really like that.
I like that.
And then they
liked-
went to the crowd, and I was like, why?
And it picked back up again when Sabu did the run-in.
Yeah.
So like I liked like if you said this match was like broken down into the thirds, I like the opening third and I like the closing third, but the middle, the crowd brawling part,
and it
I'm
didn't
with
make
you.
any sense.
It didn't fit their styles.
Right. That's what I'm saying. It didn't make any sense.
And it's not like they needed to like go to that for like to pick up the energy in the crowd. Like the energy was there.
Right.
So it's not like you need to take it to the crowd for any reason.
I wonder how much
can Taz.
Well, when you're
Taz
stuck
not
with
do that
25 minutes and you're out there like that, you see Shane's got a cast on his arm. You know what I'm saying?
Well,
there's a reason they did that.
And
Kill time.
Dude, and how much can Taz really do? Not how much can he really do, but how much are you expecting him to do?
Yeah, he ain't going in there and hip tossing, arm dragging, really. You know what I'm saying?
Well, that's what I'm saying.
kind of
If you're
kills his
portraying,
mystique if he does.
well, that's what I'm saying. If you're portraying him as this badass, like, yeah, you can do your little, like we said in the beginning, like your little out wrestle him a little bit, but like, can you do 10 more minutes of him and shit? Like, no, you're not going to do
Not
that.
with the crowd liking it.
Right, so what are you going to do? All right, let's go into the crowd and fucking hide for fucking 10 minutes and then, you know what I'm saying?
It's a lovely place.
Taz wasn't a fucking...
The 20th row is a lovely place.
Taz wasn't a 20-minute match guy. You know, what was he going to do?
Early in his career he was, but not at this point. He's built up to the killer.
Right, so
The
what are you
longer
going
he
to do?
goes, the stupider it looks.
Right, so, I mean, I guess you could say it was smart, but we don't have to like it.
Yeah, I agree. So you had the Sabu run in, and then
I like the Sabu running.
so
Dude,
did I. And
I fucking run off the...
Sabu.
Oh,
Yeah.
dude, when he leaped and right on the top rope, dude.
Yeah.
That
And then
was...
the other one where he's standing up there for like 3 seconds almost.
No,
falling.
but the one straight off the ramp to the top rope to the fucking... To both of those was fucking flawless.
I like
And
the other
was
one.
like, all right,
He didn't
dude.
even hit Shane. He just hit Taz. I was like, yes. And I'm sure
You're so petty. You are so petty, dude.
it's Jordan Davis how fucking
Pat's
petty I
watching
am.
Sabu leap to the top rope like, I can still do that.
Yeah.
I actually thought about that.
Yeah, and there's
I'm going
no
to start
chance.
I'm putting one out tomorrow out back.
All right, try jumping up to the second step upstairs, and we'll start there.
There was also Candido and Tammy got involved too, which I thought was really cool, especially the
I was waiting for a frantic tit to pop out.
yeah with the
I was hoping.
I
It's
know.
a shame Candido could have been used on this card.
yeah. That's another. I mean, why not? Right? Like you could have found a spot for Chris Candido on any card.
Franny had a nice spear on her. I thought fucking Tammy like blew her ACL on the spear. But
For one of those catfight spots, it was a good catfight spot.
yeah, it wasn't bad. It was more than just like a roll around whatever. It was at least she gave her like a spear job.
And then Candido hit Douglas, and then Taz made a comeback, and he locked in the
Yeah,
Taz
what's
mission.
up with the breakup? Why do we even know? Do you know the backstory to that?
I forget some of the backstory involved in this at this point.
Bigelow left, and
it
then
was like
I guess they thought Shane was getting too big for his britchet. Like he was like trying to be too big of the top guy, and it wasn't like the triple threat anymore. Like he was like trying to like break all whatever. But dude, I'm sorry, but the Kadahajime or whatever would never choke anybody out. It wouldn't.
I know.
Did
I
you
don't
see
think
it?
the sleeper hold would fucking put a lot of people to sleep.
But dude, he's got one arm behind your head.
Well, his arms are a little short too.
And one arm like half like on the side of your neck, and I'm like, wait, people. I don't know.
Oh, Shane would have been out of it when he kicked the rope. When he kicked the top rope, landed, and started to roll, and
Taz was losing it,
and Shane went right back into it.
Yeah, and but like he's not even choking him. Like I don't know. That's just me watching it as like a fan going back and forth. Like if you see Taz doing it, like it's not even a choke, but sorry, I just like it's not, and it's just this has nothing to do with Taz. Like it's just like that's not even a choke. Like if anybody put that on. I mean, you know what I'm talking about?
Oh, yeah.
You see, like,
yeah.
His one hand's like here, and his other hand's behind his neck, and I'm like, well, how is he passing out right now?
Yeah.
I don't know. It just looked like shit.
Wrestling.
Yeah, it's wrestling.
No, I know, but it looked like shit for a title change. I don't know.
Shane wasn't in ECW very much longer after this. It was only 3 months. He was having some contract issues as well. So, does the job for Taz here. That was the finish, and
I thought Shane looked awesome in the match. To be honest with you,
he did,
especially
look good.
with a broken hand.
Yeah, I mean, like he did try, and he did his best to put Taz over. So like he did business and everything. So, I didn't.
Yeah, but did business how with the. You having Tammy and Chris, Sabu. All right, he lost because Sabu did this. Tammy and Chris did this.
You would have liked it to be cleaner.
Yes.
Yes. Okay.
He didn't, and he didn't tap.
Which is part of the Taz mystique too, though. Sometimes the guys didn't tap. Sometimes they just passed out from the choke. So I don't know if I don't know. I know what you're saying.
Him tapping is putting him over.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah,
yes.
is what I'm saying.
That's more of a put over.
Yeah.
Yeah.
A tapping is.
It looks better for the crowd, though.
This match overall, I liked parts of it. And I didn't like other parts of it. It wasn't what they were going for as this like epic. So I think it was a miss overall. But I'm still going to give it 3 stars. Ollie, what do you give the match?
I'm going to go 2.5 just because the crowd brawling was just kind of like...
Yeah, for who for what?
Yeah, for who for what. But like you guys said, like the opening and the ending is great.
Yeah.
So, I mean, yeah, 2.5.
Hack? 3? You're right.
3 bangers.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm right there. I really liked a lot. I really liked a lot of the match. To be honest with you, I thought Shane was awesome in the match, and the crowd was, blah 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 blah. The finish, whatever. But yeah, three stars for me.
3 stars. So that was ECW Guilty as Charged 1999. Hack, you weren't on the show, but I enjoyed this one, man. What'd you think overall?
I was on the show. They talked about me twice.
Does that count as being on the show?
Yeah, they were like, thank God that loser's not fucking here anymore.
Thank God he went to WCW to kill it. Overall, though, like you guys, I enjoyed this one. I really did. I thought it was a really good show overall.
Yeah, dude, there's 3 really good matches in there.
Yeah.
4 really good matches.
Yeah.
On the whole, I was entertained. I don't think I was like not entertained at a point. You know what I'm saying? Like watching the whole thing, like I wasn't like fuck. Like I ain't gonna lie, like I fast forwarded a little bit through the fucking New Jack and Dudley thing just because like
you know what it is.
Yeah, I know what it is. Like I saw the throw, like Bubba throw and like everything like that, but I've seen that fucking 1,000 times and it's not a fucking match. But other than that, I was entertained throughout the whole entire thing. So
yeah. No, it's an enjoyable ECW show. You see the debut of Sid, and you see a lot of cool stuff on it. So if you guys haven't had a chance, definitely check that one out.
Yeah, it's worth a watch.
Up next week on the show, we are reviewing what I consider to be the greatest Royal Rumble in history. Ollie has never seen it before. Ty, you don't know if you've ever seen it before.
I can't say I've ever seen it before.
Well, we are reviewing...
Ty, were you only like 3?
Yeah, so I know, but I mean...
Yeah, through the network.
There may have been a time I might have... But I don't think I've ever seen it before.
We're watching the 1992 Royal Rumble, so I am jacked for this show. Hack, I know you're excited for this one as well, so that's what we're
excited.
Oh, God, you can't...
It's oozing out of your pores.
Oh, my God.
I'm more worried about Saturday Night Main Event.
Oh, God.
With Jesse.
Yeah,
Bobby!
with Jesse. This week on the show... Oh, I'm sorry. What the fuck?
Hey,
did you just fumble?
I did. I fucked
Oh,
up.
my God. You just
wanna
fumbled.
know.
You fucked up. You fucked up.
Here we go. Listener questions. As always, send in to sandmanpod@gmail.com. The magic of editing. We might have to edit this one too.
Nah, there's no fucking
No.
chance,
No,
Tosh.
okay.
That is getting so right the fuck.
Might replay
that's
like
getting
3-4
woven
times in a row.
Yeah, I might fucking copy and paste that shit like 3 times in a fucking row.
Bob from Broomall writes in,
Bobby!
"Hey scoundrels, what's good?
Scoundrel.
Thank you as always for the great content. I was wondering what grinds your gears when you're watching a match. Like, what is something you see that takes you right out of it? I've said this before 100 times. When they're taking a near fall and they do the shocked face. So that's it for me. What about you, Ollie?
Goodness.
I'll give you mine right
Okay.
away. Dude, if you follow along on the show, you know what I fucking hate. Working a body part and not following through with it. Working a knee and then still doing moves that you're going to be able to do with a knee. And then, I don't know, just pick and choose when you're going to sell the knee and when you're not
How
going to
about
sell the
just
knee.
work his arm?
Whatever it is, a body part. If you're gonna work a body part, fucking get rid of that body part. But you better fucking have that in your match.
With me, it's too many moves to nowhere.
Too many moves to nowhere. You mean like
Like,
they don't build up to the finish
done.
or anything? It's just, okay.
And
That's
I
good.
got mine. People putting their hands up, shielding their face when they're about to take something.
Yeah,
Wow.
I'm with you on that one too. Fucking trust the guy. Trust the guy is gonna fucking make a kick. Trust the guy's gonna make a guy, girl, whoever.
Yeah.
Trust they're gonna fucking make You're in the ring for a fucking reason. Stop putting your fucking hand up. Seriously, it's a joke.
No, I
fucking
agree.
joke.
You're gonna leap over the top rope and take a back bump on the outside, but you're gonna tell me you can't take a little kick to the face?
I agree. I'm right there with you, Ollie. I'm right there with you. I'm right
it's
there,
a
man.
fucking joke. It's disgusting. These workers these fucking days.
Oh, God. He also said, I was watching GCW this weekend from the Hammerstein, which was a missed opportunity not to get Sandman entrance, but that's besides the point.
Thank God, I didn't want to go up there.
Do you know? Okay.
I hate New York.
Can I tell a little inside baseball here? Am I allowed to?
Anything you
No,
want,
I
dude.
was going
You're
to
the
say,
boss.
well, we thought
All
the
right.
Eagles are going to be in the playoffs, so we didn't want to take that booking.
So, no,
that's what it was.
no. There was nothing confirmed, but there was some talks with some friends of ours, and just because the fact the Eagles were in the playoffs, Hack did not even want to do it. So, not that it was out there to do 100%.
Right,
but, yeah.
correct. It
Yeah, but
wasn't.
then I go book myself for this freaking game this weekend.
Yeah,
Did you?
Hack's totally gone this
Freaking
weekend.
Are you
loser.
booked this weekend?
Yeah.
Oh, God.
Yeah, he goes, I leave tomorrow and I come back Monday. I'm like, you fucking idiot.
Wow, that's awesome. Oh, that's great. Oh,
He's
God.
like, I'm going to have
Are
to
you
watch
sure?
it.
I hate myself.
Are you free February 9th?
Yeah, yeah.
Super Bowl.
Yeah, I got the 15th, but not the 9th.
Oh, God.
I was like, Hack, what are you doing? He's like, I think I'm going to have to watch a game on maybe a computer. I don't know. Somebody
Nah,
has
they
something
said they're
set
going to
up.
have a computer for
Nah,
me.
dude, somebody will set you up.
Yeah.
But it's like, that's pretty bad, but like when I book myself on a Masters weekend, I really hate myself then too.
We'll have to give you that date ahead of
I
time
know.
so that
I'm
you're not
such an
booked.
idiot.
Bob's pet peeve was I can't stand when ladders are involved and the referees are shown on camera holding and stabilizing the ladder. Maybe it's just me, but it instantly takes me out of the match. I was just curious if anything similar took you guys out of it. It was a fun show, recommended viewing for the GCW show. He said, and it was. There was
I
parts of it that
appreciate
were really
that.
good.
I'm indifferent on. In one hand, I do appreciate the refs holding the ladders because I don't want to see fucked up spots. But on the other hand of me, it's like, no, you're working with a ladder. You should that's the fucking spot you chose. So
Yeah.
Shit happens. Like, if you're gonna use a ladder, learn how to use a fucking ladder.
Or you knock the ref down and you have him pulling himself up on the ladder while you're doing your spot.
Even better, Hack. You can be
Right.
safe and also.
I'm not a booker, but
Yeah, you are.
That ain't a booger. That's a booking a spot.
Yeah, I mean,
listen, I want, yeah.
I hear what Bob's saying, and I get it. I think it's more of like a time and place thing, and maybe depending on like what kind of spot you're doing,
Right.
just to like make sure that everybody's safe. But I mean, if you're just setting up a ladder and just doing like a regular dive off it onto somebody, there's no reason the ref should be touching the ladder.
Right.
And also depending on the size of the ladder.
Yeah. I watched some deathmatch wrestling, and like the refs will literally go
All
and
the
set
time.
up the plunder for the guys, And I'm like,
Yeah,
you're building them the player. I'm like,
if there's a bunch of dudes on ladders and like the one ref decides to hold the ladder, like
perfectly fine.
I'm
I don't
not
really care
worried about that
Yeah.
dude holding the fucking ladder. I'm worried about the spot.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like
And if you're gonna, and if it's like a tag team like ladder wrestling match, make your partner hold the ladder for you if you're going to do a spot
Right,
for it.
that's a good point.
Don't let the ref do it.
I like
Right,
that too,
that's a good
Ollie.
point.
All these are great solutions. So listen in, guys. Up next, Brian Mills from Calgary, Alberta, Canada. Hello, Hardcore Hack and the Hackaroos. Congrats on a great win this past weekend. The Eagles look great. Sadly,
Thank you, sir.
Sadly, our
Sad?
beautiful, heroic Lions ran out of steam and deprived us of the NFC Championship game we all deserved. Good luck against the Commanders. Thank you, Brian. I appreciate
buddy.
that. You're a lot nicer.
Loser.
Tough season for you, pal.
It's going to get worse for next year.
But
I agree. with
Losing
both-
your coordinators.
That's what you get when Jameson Williams is throwing the ball.
Yeah. I want to second the idea from a couple episodes ago regarding a book. A lot of hack stories need to be archived for future generations. My question today is, as always, to the gang, are there any guys you enjoyed watching that didn't ever get the recognition from others you felt they deserved? For me, it was Steve Blackman. He'd have these great 6-minute TV matches on Raw in 2000, just quick and violent. Any of you guys have similar guilty pleasures, for lack of a better term?
Dude, I'm sorry. You lose all credibility when you just missed Steve Blackman blew.
Ah, the Lethal Weapon.
Everybody knew it. Nobody wanted to work with him.
I like
he
the Lethal
sucked
Weapon.
the air out of any ring he got into.
I like the Lethal Weapon
Are
myself,
we talking
too.
about like underdog people?
Just
that
kind of
like,
guys under the radar, guys that you guys enjoyed in wrestling for whatever reason. Maybe
I
didn't
mean,
get.
I think me and Oliver might have like a very similar one, but like Homicide.
Right. But I think he does in certain circles. I think Homicide gets, like, people, we talked about him a couple weeks
Like,
ago. I love Homicide.
I've been watching Homicide since I was fucking like 9-10 years old. That like
Fucking love Homicide.
like Homicide's been on the indie circuit for fucking so long, which
Yeah.
I don't even know how he hasn't like got on that. Him and like a guy like Low Key.
Oh, those guys, I feel like they get their props from the right circles. I love Loki, too.
Okay. I mean, I understand where you're going with
Yeah.
that, but like
The
as
tag
far
team champs in AEW were like that now.
Private Party, well, they
the
lost
one
them.
kid, Chris something? Or is it WWE? Chris from TNA.
Chris Sabin.
Chris Sabin.
Yes.
The perfect example, Chris Sabin right there.
Okay.
That dude's been around forever.
Forever.
Never even heard of him until very recently.
yeah.
You've never heard of Chris Sabin until recently?
No, I've worked
you're
with
saying
him. I've been
people-
on cards. Yes,
Oh,
you're
you're saying-
regular WWE fan.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
That
Well-
didn't watch any TNA. or
Yeah,
whatever.
that's kind of like where I'm going.
Okay.
Like maybe I'm a little off, but like it's a good point. People who know them know whatever. I'm thinking more broad span, but like a dude like Homicide, like Oliver, like me and you love fucking Homicide, and a dude like Low Key, like those two dudes to me have never really gotten the fucking like maybe the. Like, they've gotten their flowers, but maybe not, like, the main stage flowers that I expected and maybe even wanted from them, because I've seen them...
Homicide got killed in one match. They did that TNA. They had like a rumble in a cage, and there was a hole in top of the cage,
I remember this.
and he couldn't get out of it. He
Yes.
couldn't climb and climb because they didn't practice it beforehand, and he couldn't get out of the damn cage to win the match. And then, I mean, that was his spot right there.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Standing on the top of the cage with the strap and shit like
It was
that.
a weird.
don't
It
even
was
know
a
about
weird
that.
circular cage.
Yes, it was a circular cage with like maybe a 6-foot hole in the top.
Yeah, I do actually remember that. But I like
Killed him.
I was going to
Freaking killed him.
I was going to Ring of Honor shows like all the time back in the day.
Dude, Homicide was, like, my favorite wrestler for, like, a long time.
And when he finally
was
got
great.
the world title in Ring of Honor, and he had some big moments in Ring of Honor that I got to watch live, like Homicide.
Yeah, I never
was
really watched Ring of Honor.
oh, dude, Homicide was a man there, dude.
Ollie,
He
you
was-
got anything off the top of your head? I might have stole yours, but...
I mean, he gets his props, but I'd say Amazing Red.
oh, Amazing Red, yeah.
Loved him,
And
too.
he would be, and he's another Ring of Honor dude, just like Homicide, just like Loki, that were there. And I mean,
Tiny.
Tri-state,
I know but
Tri-state guys.
that's- This
Tiny's in now.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. So it's like, I mean, he was doing style, and like he was doing
Before
style
any of
back
these
then,
motherfuckers were.
but,
Right,
like,
yeah.
dude, I would love to see him with some of these guys today.
Oh, absolutely. He
Yeah,
was
that's a good one, I like that.
No, Amazing Red was somebody who was way before his time and was so awesome. I mean, you go back and watch some of that stuff. Like you could throw him on any card today, and he would not look out of place at all. So that's a great one. Yeah. Anybody? Hack. I know you said Chris Sabin, but anybody else?
Nah, he was perfect for what we were talking about.
Okay. That was a great question, though. Up next is Heart Attack Rick from
Hey, Rick, how's your health?
Mechanicsburg, Pennsylvania. What's up, Sand Dudes? Rick here again. I got nothing here this week. The Dudley Boys segment was the best thing on this week's card. Wow, really, Rick? Huh? We all disagree with you there. I don't think it was.
Not necessarily. If
But
he's
it was
talking
fun.
if he's talking about the whole like
the mic work.
the Gertner thing,
Okay.
them coming in. I mean,
Yeah.
it was a great fucking segment.
Oh yeah, that was way better than the match.
Yeah.
My question this week is on how did the Mattel action figures, the newest ones, come to be after so long of nothing new from a toy aspect? And did you sign a Legends deal for Triple H or what? As always, the podcast is awesome, so keep it up.
No, don't have a Legends deal. They called me and said, "You want a doll and you want to be on the game?" I said, "Yeah."
There you go, Rick. That's your answer. No Legends deal, man. People ask us all the time. We were actually talking about that
No
before the show.
Legends deal. They asked him what he wants to do. And here we go. I walked in the house today, and Hack was signing like 200 and however many cards for Topps WWE.
Yeah.
So they'll be out in your, I don't know, online stores, whatever the hell they were. But
How are you able to do that with how much you jerk off a day?
That's my right hand. I can do it at the same time.
Okay. Up next is Johnny from San Antonio.
Johnny.
What's good, fellas? I ain't tapped in with y'all in a minute. You're flying pretty high, no pun intended, with the She-Eagles rolling into the NFC Championship game.
Fuck off.
The She-Eagles.
Yeah, since y'all
Hey, dude, Texas took a hard loss.
Yeah, they
Against
did.
who, KC?
Well, he's from San Antonio, so is
Yeah,
he?
but that's who he's probably.
So is he
his
Dallas?
team-
Is he,
Dallas.
is he a Houston fan or is he a Dallas fan?
He ain't a
I'm
Dallas
gonna say
fan.
Dallas.
No, nobody's a Dallas fan.
he's a Dallas fan.
He
Since
said
The
She-Eagles?
Cowboys?
this is what he said. Since y'all are division rivals, both of y'all, I wish there was a way for both teams to lose.
Oh, so he's a Cowboys fan. All right.
Loser.
Fucking
No,
yeah, dude, you guys have been irrelevant
You're a
since
joke.
'95.
You're a joke.
Seriously, dude, hop on
Jerry
the
Jones can't
Texans.
get out of his own way.
Even if my team ain't in no position to allow me to shit talk, he said. So my question for Hack this week is if he has any good Tracy Smothers stories. I know Van Damme and Dreamer both have told some funny Tracy Smothers stories. If you touched on this before, feel free to ignore my question. Johnny, we talked about Tracy earlier, but you got another one, Hack? You got anything else?
No, dude, he was just ready to go. He was ready for any kind of action, dude. He was like Pedro Morales. That dude would fight at the drop of a pin.
There you go.
Hothead.
Yeah, I mean, we kind of brought it up
I
earlier.
hated
In the
Shane
series.
Douglas.
So
Yeah.
I'll get his answer out.
Here, I'll tell you quick. He hated Shane Douglas because when Shane Douglas was young, because Tracy was older. When Shane Douglas was young, Tracy let him live at his house. And then Shane big time Tracy when Tracy came into the ECW.
Get out of here.
Yeah.
Oh, fuck.
man.
Yeah, Tracy was hot about that.
The same
dude.
people you see, what do they say? The same people you see on the way up, you see on the way
back.
down. So it's, yeah. Wow. That's a great one there, actually. Man, that
And
makes...
if you don't know, ask Hack.
Yeah, that's Hack. Up next, Uncle Howard writes in. We haven't heard from Uncle Howard in a while. Yo, Sandman, Mr. Hackson, if you nasty. It's Uncle Howard, and I'm writing to you live and direct from the beautiful planet of Naboo. In Star Wars Episode 2, Attack of the Clones, Anakin Skywalker famously says, I hate sand. Given that you're the sand man, how offensive did you find that comment?
I hate sand too. You don't listen enough. I hate the sand. Oh my God, I don't want to touch on it. I don't want to be near it.
And Hack's never seen Star Wars.
Love the ocean.
Yeah.
Love the ocean. Hate the sand, but I like the hard sand or whatever, like 10 feet, 15 feet before the water, you know what I mean? But the trudge from the boardwalk out there, I'm ready to kill myself.
Oh, I fucking hate it
Especially
too. It gets
Wildwood.
stuck fucking everywhere. You
Oh,
get, no,
hate
it's
it.
fucking dog shit. I hate the sand too.
I used to feel the same way, and I still kind of hate sand, but I love the beach and going in the water, so I've just kind of accepted the fact
Hey, you
that
got
it's
sons.
just what comes with it.
Hey, you're gonna be out there
And
with the
I
boys.
can't keep my sons out the water. So.
Oh, if you could like just put me on if you could fucking crane lift me from the boardwalk to like the fucking chair, like 20 feet.
I don't know
from
why
the
you just can't have
water.
concrete. Just
Like-
concrete all the way up there.
Well, it wouldn't really be called a beach anymore, but
You wouldn't exist then, man.
Yes, I would.
Yes, I
There's sand all over the planet.
But you're the Sandman. Yeah, you'd be the concrete man. It wouldn't be the same. Up next, Kevin from Dayton, Ohio
Kevin?
writes
Your boy,
in.
Hack.
Oh, God. Kevin writes in.
Didn't he blast us about the
He's
Packers?
tried.
yeah,
He's
what
tried.
are you
He's-
talking about? Commanders beating us this week, you fucking loser.
I'm tripling down this week.
He's tripling down.
Yeah,
I'm
see,
tripling
yeah.
down this week and saying, good luck, you losers. The Commanders are going to roll. Oh,
What do
God.
we get if you lose,
Yeah,
Kevin?
Kevin-
What is
Well,
this?
he
So
doesn't
you want
get
to
anything
bet?
if he's right.
Yeah, he's just
He gets
talking
left
smack.
home alone, that's
Yeah,
what
you're
he
talking smack in the emails,
He
Kevin,
gets
and you
left
haven't.
home alone.
God.
Kevin McAllister.
Next week we are reviewing Royal Rumble '92. But before we go, Hack, the Cane of the Week.
Cane of the week goes to the Philadelphia mayor for not knowing how to spell Eagles.
All right, what's the total?
Brutal.
I'm caning her. That's it.
That's
I guess the toast of the week could be.
No, the toast of the week's Jalen Carter.
Okay, absolutely.
What a game he
Yo,
had
saved
last
the
week.
game the last 2 snaps of the game.
Dude's
I'll
a
give it
beast.
to him.
Hopefully-
And the fumble.
Hopefully we win another Eagles victory Monday. Catch us, like, share, review.
Let's go,
We'll
Birds.
see you next week. Go Birds. Peace.
Ain't it foggy outside?